Yo, 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 yo. We back at it again. This is your boy Ron. That's Leroy Green, the number one
Up.
weekend hip hop show in the game. The Weekend Rhyme, another episode brought to you by According Hip Hop. What's good, Leroy? What's good with you, brother?
It's good. It's good, man. I'm listening to hip hop like always, man. Come Friday night, I'm checking out the new music. So of course, that's what I was doing. So and it was dope. I heard a lot of dope stuff, man. So I'm always excited about just music, man. I'm a music head first. That's you know what I mean.
No
I'm a
doubt, no,
music guy. You
no,
know.
doubt, no doubt, no doubt. So make sure you hit like and subscribe before Leroy deep goes into a deep dive on this music that he chopped up on Friday. I want to say something real quick, a little housekeeping. Yo, we appreciate
Yeah.
every other podcast out there, but I've been noticing, and Leroy brought it to my attention, and Super brought it to my attention. Then I jumped on and noticed it. We see a lot of
Well,
plagiarizing going on, man. You know, it's okay to cite sources. If you see something that inspires you, just give credit to the proper source. And I'm gonna show y'all how to do it tonight because I watched a couple podcasts and somebody made some good points. I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. It's okay to listen to different things, but don't recycle ideas and make it your own. Okay, be creative. Okay, be creative. Be creative. But I just want to see. I see everything. I peep everything. And I'm gonna show you how to properly cite your sources. Like we were taught back in school to properly cite your sources. We're gonna do that. And y'all get some ideas, man. Y'all don't gotta jack our ideas, man. It's enough. If you want me to produce your shows, reach out to me. Y'all might have my number.
hey,
I can help y'all with the production and I can get y'all some topics. But y'all be jacking Leroy's ideas and his comments. Y'all do it to Super
I'm not
and do it to
tripping.
me. I just say, look, I'm gonna show you how to cite sources properly tonight. So anyway, I
I
digress.
hear you.
I
Yeah.
digress.
Nah, I'm not tripping. I mean, I cite sources, but I'm different. But say if you hear something that you agree with and you are saying something that I said, then I go ahead, take it. Right. That's why I said it. You know what I mean? But
Cite,
but I hear you though, Ron. I
cite
hear
the
you.
source, cite the source, cite the source, and give credit where credit is due. Also, if you are watching us on X, Twitter, make sure you hit like and subscribe. Go to the YouTube page uh, and check us out and subscribe on the YouTube page. And if you're on YouTube and you have not followed us on X, Twitter, make sure you do that. We're trying to get those Twitter numbers up, those X numbers up, and vice versa. So if you're on YouTube,
Right.
like us on X, like us on Twitter, and if you're on X watching us, 'cause I see the numbers on X are continuously to rise. Make sure you come to the Corner Hip Hop YouTube page and like us as well. Without
Yeah.
further ado, Leroy, you kind of unpacked the Busta Rhymes this weekend. What were your
Right.
thoughts on the Busta Rhymes joint?
All right, Busta Rhymes. So, um, I'm a Busta head. I think everybody knows I'm a fan of Busta Rhymes. So I mean you guys know that. Um, so I listened to his new project, the new EP, and as expected, I thought it was dope. Uh, that soon, poets and rhymers. But so dragon season, right? So just real quick, if you do the science on a dragon, what is a dragon? It's a symbol, but people should really do the science on that. Why do Asian people be like really on dragons, etc., etc.? So, but the song, so it's a short EP. First song starts out with a letter to my children. Now, the reason why I'm a big Busta Rhymes fan is because he just brought a lot to the table as an artist. A performance artist wise, he did his thing. As far as the look, the aesthetic, um, just I mean that's a thing. You have performative arts, you have visual arts as well. Of course, he came in with the Hype Williams videos. There were others that were doing it too, but we all remember Woo Ha. We remember Dangerous. Put your hands where my eyes could see. We remember all that. So I've always been a Busta fan in that regard. But the first song, "Letter to My Children," he's speaking about that, like him being in the game, his influence, and just the fundamentals of rapping, of being dope. Y'all know I'm about the fundamentals, man. Come on now, you guys know that. I've been about that, right? So, but those things I view are important when it comes to Busta Rhymes. His next song is called National Treasure. But when it comes to Busta Rhymes, I feel like he like breathes and bleeds hip hop. Like it's just hip hop is just running through his veins. That's what it feels like to me. You know what I mean? So that's I like that. That's dope to me. You know what I mean? Just somebody who's that invested, that passionate about the bars. So again, I just heard it last night, so I can't go super deep into it. But as far as agility with his rhymes, that's there. You know the passion is there. You know the styles is there. We talk about styles. Busta introduces a lot of styles that I don't think he never really got credit for. If you go back through his catalog, I was having a conversation with Servan on text. Yesterday we were talking about his catalog and whatnot. But in his catalog, there's a lot of dope styles, man. I think people could go back to and be like, bro, like he's really spazzing and like doing different approaches, and his beat picking was crazy. So I enjoyed the record. Of course, there's the Busta Bus song on there. There's Golden Treasure on there. The dance hall angle. That's always been a thing. When I used to go out to the clubs, one night I would go to the regular club, and then, well, sometimes in the same night. So I would start at this place called The Agenda, and that was like a dance hall. Well, it had levels, but the bottom level was like dance hall reggae music. That's how I would get my night started. I was rocking with that. Then I would go to another club, the Beehive, and that was more like the mainstream hip hop or whatever. So but songs like Bust a Bus, of course, we know that's to dance. I encourage that. I encourage people to make dance songs. I mean, if you are rapping your ass off, that's great. But show a little bit of versatility. I'm with that. So Busta held it down, man. I don't know how many of y'all are Busta fans, how many of y'all are not. I think he's one of the greatest rappers to come through. You know what I mean? So, he's not in my top 5, but still, that's my opinion. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, the Buster, it was a really short EP. We were talking about it in the chat. I thought it was okay. I like the second song. I liked a couple records on it. I don't think it was like, his best, but I like the National
Right.
Treasure joint. And then I like, Do the Bustle Bus is one of those old school joints you're gonna hear at the barbecue, at the little at the fish fry. I mean, it's a fun and tongue in cheek record. I don't think it's meant to be anything but that. I think it's gonna be something that people may pick up. But
Right.
only critique I have with the album is that, some of the sounds sound off. It doesn't sound like it was kind of mixed properly or engineered right. But other than that, it's a cool it's a cool project, man. It's a project, and the Doodle Buster Bus record is a record that you could probably hear on them old school hip hop cruises. You're gonna hear it, at your auntie's club. You know what I'm saying? Hell, I'm my auntie's age myself.
You
So
being slick.
no, I
You
mean,
being
no, but
slick.
but I'm being for real though, because Super Hit Us was like, yeah, that record is like, come on. But I sat back and thought about when I heard the record, I said, what is this record for? What's this intended purpose of the music? And it's to
Right.
keep you. It's those little slide records, and you know what I'm saying, and 1-2 step, and those little the dancing records. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I encourage that because that's like it should be a big thing in the culture. Like whether you like the song or not, everybody's entitled to have your opinion. You could not like the song, but I just mean that element of that dancing or whatever, you know, um, that brought a lot of closeness between us and the females, and that built a lot of relationships because it started off with you dancing with her. That's one factor. The second factor is in our community or as a people, we deal with a lot of health issues, things like that. So when certain music comes on, you should get up and start moving the your body, to the music and moving your body around. And that maybe it sounds funny to you or not, but again, we're dealing with a lot of health issues in our community. Like get up and dance, move to stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's important to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's a good thing. We got to move. I mean, if you want folks to start dancing, put on the Luke records, and that'll be an exercise in
Hey,
itself. You know.
do that. Do that. You know what I mean?
Ye-
That was the thing. No, seriously though, because now when people go to the club, everybody's just like standing there looking at each other. I'm like, what are y'all looking? What are y'all looking at? Didn't you come to have fun? Is why you're in the club? Like, so we need to get back to that. Like, you know what I mean? Pull up on Shorty, pull her out there, dance with her, get some physical interaction. But we need the songs to do that. You know what I mean? So even though Buster could give up a bunch of hardcore street records or a bunch of just hard driven songs, he threw a dance song in there. You know what I mean? Threw a dance hall record in there. It's a good thing, man, in my opinion.
Well, Leroy, it's a two-way street, man. A lot of these ladies don't want to dance, man. They want to dance with each other. They don't want to dance with the brothers at the club. You know what I'm saying? You try to ask for a dance, they're gonna look at you like you crazy. They want to drink.
Hey,
They don't want.
they gotta look at you like you crazy. I mean, do it smooth, like approach her smooth. Come on, man.
Man,
Y'all know how to do it.
man, this ain't
Y'all
19.
know how to do it, man.
They don't do it like that no more, Leroy. They want to get a drink. You gotta get them a drink. They ain't gonna try to dance. And if you gotta you
Man,
get one a
forget
drink.
all that.
You gotta get the home girl a drink. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get our home girl a drink. And she
Nah,
might be bold enough to be like buy this brother a drink, the one that she really like. You know what I mean?
never, never, never.
You know what I mean? It's
I
crazy.
say, shorty, you messed up, man. You know what I mean? But we got to do that. We got to get back to that, man. I don't want to be out in the club and not see nobody dancing no more. Like that hurts my soul, man. You know what I mean? Come on, man. We got to get back to it. So I
No,
appreciate them type of songs, man. Seriously though, you know what I mean?
no doubt. No, super tap in because I think the next topic and Servan, if you listening, or hit me hit Servan in the group chat.
Real quick though, two other projects. I'm gonna do it real
My
quick though.
bad, my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, real quick, real quick. Mac Miller, Balloonerism, and Logic, Aquarius 3. Um, Logic, he's doing his Logic thing. You know what I mean? He doesn't really overthink things, but I like the production. He also deals with AI on there in a joking way. But the context of his record is really it's him against himself. You know what I mean? And I think that's important. Which leads me back and that lane we talked about Afrofuturism, whether you feel about his race or whatever. I think we should explore that. So that leads me back to Mac Miller. Rest in peace. Another dope rapper, but his music is real like ethereal. He was a real musician. But as far as like the youth, even though he was in his 30s, in his early 30s when he passed, as far as the youth goes, growing up, they have a lot of confusion or direction about where I'm going to go. So musically, he speaks to that. Poetically, in his lyrics, he has a real poetic approach. It's like a Mac Miller 3000 almost, you know what I mean? As far as like him singing the hooks and then going back to his verses. So check out those things. The Mac Miller is something chill, you know what I mean? It's just something to chill to. Logic, that's for the heads, if you're into some like production, boom bap production, and them type of flows that go with that. And you got the Busta. If you grew up on Busta, you know what I mean? Check those out tomorrow. That's why I like coming on Saturday, because you could check out the music on Sunday. You know what I mean?
Right,
So
right, right,
that's a
right.
big.
Right, and we're gonna check out. I need to check out that Mac Miller. We might do like a whole deep dive on that in the life and times of Mac Miller. After we let it
Yeah,
marinate for a week, you know what I mean? We'll let it marinate for a week,
yeah,
and
it's
then
cool.
we'll come back and do like a track by track analysis of that joint. But let's get to our second topic of the night because
It's up.
tonight, to give the audience a preview of what we're talking about tonight, we talked about the new albums that Leroy just did a good job on. Logic, Mac Miller, Busta Rhymes. We'll talk about this Drake lawsuit, and Super really wanted to talk about that. I think Servan might pop on as well and talk about its impact with hip hop. How does it impact hip hop moving forward? We've got the game, the documentaries celebrates a 20-year anniversary. We're going to unpack that album and see
Oh,
how big that was for the game and for West Coast hip hop in general. And then we got some Liangelo ball talk, and then we also have hip hop. We're gonna ask the question: is hip hop now in 2024 supporting Trump? It's a question based on the recent moves. But we got our guys on. Let me add Savon in here and Super. So
okay, okay, okay.
Super. You wanted to talk
Okay.
about this. You've been hitting me all week
Look,
asking me, it's like, we got to talk about this Drake lawsuit. This Drake
well,
lawsuit is crazy. Why don't you kick us off, sir, about your assessment of this Drake lawsuit and what it means for hip hop in general?
What's really good, fellas? What's happening?
What's going on,
what's up?
brother?
What's up?
Good.
Let's go.
Man, hey, y'all know I've been passionate, man, about this, man. And as an
Hmm.
honorary member of the hip hop gatekeepers community, man, we gotta pack Drake up and get him out of here, man. We can't stop this. For me, I think this is a major gatekeeping moment. This is a major gatekeeping moment for us, for real, man. We can't allow this dude to be suing over rap beef just because of. I mean, you gotta really look at this, y'all. What if he win this? Like that, nobody really thinking about what if he actually win this. He got anti-Semitic claims in there over this rap beef. He calling out podcasters and people that's reviewing music and mad because the fans didn't pick him. Like this whole act is just so against hip hop culture that we gotta pack this guy up and ship him out of here, man. We can't deal with this. This is a true gatekeeping moment for us. Like if we gonna stand on anything, we gotta stand on getting Drake ass out of here for these actions, man, for real. But we're gonna go a little deeper into it. But I want to hear what Siobhan got to say too.
Yeah, hey man, I agree. And show after show, anytime I speak about Drake, I've always been saying how he wasn't for the culture and how this is a slap in the face to the culture, what he's doing. You know, where was his energy when you was provoking a man? Where was his energy when you was beefing with others? Where was his energy when you were saying what you were saying? Now it didn't go in your favor. It's like you went full Karen mode. And it's just like, not only is it corny of him, but it is bad for hip hop. And it kind of sets the tone for how, so let's say like how Super said, if he was to win, what does that say for hip hop and how lyrics will be weaponized? We already see it done in the criminal courts with certain cases with rappers. But now, if we have something like this happen, there's a battle, and somebody say something that's disparaging about another, is just going to open the floodgates for more things like this to happen. I mean, it's a true indictment against hip hop, and you know, I can go on and on about personal stuff that I feel about Drake, but just to echo what Super saying, like this is not good for hip hop, and it's not good for this battle. It kind of overshadows the greatness of what we got from this battle as well.
And we got to look at it as the hip hop culture and community too of the impact it's gonna even have on battles. This might be the last. Like I think artists would be kind of scared to battle after this. You know what I mean? Like just because of the consequences that could possibly
Right,
happen.
the
You know what I mean?
aftermath.
Like another artist suing. I mean, this whole thing, what Kendrick, I mean, not what Kendrick, but what Drake is doing is nasty. I mean, like even insinuating that Kendrick has something to do with the shooting at his house, and
Yeah,
he like almost dry snitching, and like just the whole thing. When you really look at, like, I don't know, but I encourage everybody to really go look into that lawsuit deeper and really see like what this really could do to hip hop. This could honestly, if Drake could really wins this could be the end of hip hop for real. This really could be the end of hip hop as the culture as we know it. You know what I mean? Like the real true spirit of hip hop. This will kill hip hop if he should win this.
yeah,
I,
and
I hear you. I hear you on that. You know what I mean?
when
I
I
think
look at
that
it, yeah,
I think that as far as just the art itself of battling, I think that's learned. Now in my era, you learned that at high school or in middle school when you made the little cipher and somebody wanted to battle you. That was a different era. But now I think that the rules of engagement, if there are any, I think it can be learned. I think it could be taught. Now, people think that hip hop should purely stay in the street, but I'm always an advocate for someone getting knowledge from someone who's already been there and already done it. So that's one element. The reason why I say that is because, I at the beginning when I knew this was going to pop, I said I hope that it goes. It's respectful, like as far as the content. Now, Drake did jump out the window and start talking about a whole bunch of crazy stuff. I'm not gonna deny that. You know what I'm saying? Because we know that. You know what I'm saying? But that's how I would have hoped it gone. Now Kendrick, I can't be mad at Kendrick for first defending himself, second, um, going on the attack and doing what he had to do. But when it comes to a certain crossing of a certain line, now we don't have to like it, but the reason why I was saying that I hope the battle would be respectful is because I knew who we were dealing with already. So I said people are saying, okay, he's acting like a Karen. His actual mom is a Karen. I mean, respectfully, because I don't mean that like a diss. You know what I mean? Respectfully, he's not approaching it as you remember when you were young and your mom was like, "Oh, you got a somebody got a problem with you in school, you better stand your ground. Don't come back in this house unless you out there throwing them hands." You know what I'm saying? Because your mom understood the culture or what it was. You know what I'm saying? He, he's
Uh, let- hey,
he's a
let-
he's a child actor, and then he also represents a huge corporation. Now,
hey, Leroy, I agree
yes,
with you to a certain extent. I'm gonna let you hop back on with this, but
yeah, no, go ahead,
I gotta cut you off. I gotta cut you off and interject this because
yeah,
you got to think about. I mean, I hear what you're saying that he's not from this culture, and this is, you didn't expect him, you didn't expect him to react like a real nigga. Basically, is what you're trying to say, and I understand when you're saying that, but you got to think about the impact of a lot of this shit, man. Like rap beefs go deep, man. It's been people like, especially within the drill scenes, and they've been smoking on Tuka packs for a long time. Tuka Mama deserved. If Drake win this, you can't tell me that Tuka Mama shouldn't be able to get paid. You know what I mean? Like, it's been real people dying over rap beefs, and it's been real
right,
things happening. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So like, and this is the
No, you're
first
right.
time like Drake get his feelings hurt, and now we run into the courtroom. You know what I mean? Like this, if Tuka Mama was to sue, you wouldn't be able to, you wouldn't blame her. I wouldn't blame her. You know what I mean? This
Right,
opens up the floodgates to a lot of things, man. There's been a lot of people that done died and passed. King Von them died over rap beefs and shit like that, and real beef too. But the
right.
record labels, the record labels put out those diss songs and those diss records. Every song down there had somebody smoking on Tuka back then.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So if we gonna
That's
play
true.
that game,
That's true.
and we gonna, if we gonna play Drake's feelings was hurt, and so it's legit because
Right.
Kendrick went too far and called him a pedo. No, we can't play that game. It's been people that got killed and died in this shit. You know what I mean? So
That's
I don't know,
true. I
man.
mean,
But
that's very true. But
hey,
I mean, we
I'm
can't
calling for
always.
all
Yeah,
podcasters, all the whole hip hop community, man. We done with Drake. I don't care how good the music is after this shit. I don't care if he come out with the greatest album since Illmatic. I
I
don't want
think.
to. I don't.
Yeah,
I'm not even. Listen. I'm personally. I'm taking a stand on this shit. I'm personally done with
I
Drake.
got
I'm
you.
not listening to him. You know what I mean? At all. I'm done with him.
I
Even though
got
I
you.
ever was a big fan of him in the first place, but this right here, I can't co-sign this. I can't allow this. This is a gatekeeper moment, man. We got to stand on something right here. We was ready to kick Fat Joe
I'm.
out over saying
Yeah.
Puerto Ricans created hip hop. This shit is way more egregious than that. The
I mean,
anti-Semitic claims
standing on
surrounding
something so
rap
important.
beefs, this wild.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Let me jump in real quick. Yeah, I got a second what Super said and kind of what Servan says. I think after reading the lawsuit and going through it a little bit, it's way out of pocket and it's unprecedented in hip hop. And to Super's point, if he wins this, what does this say for other people that have been really impacted by hip hop beef in music? You know what I'm saying? People actually died off some of this music that's been put out. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
if that's the
But
case,
speaking to
how
that
far does this
fact,
go?
though, speaking to that fact, Drake was the one stopping the bleeding from dude gushing blood everywhere in his house because a bullet went through his door and hit a security guard. So yes, people do die, is what
Yeah,
Drake
but
is saying.
to insinuate that
Hold
had
on.
something to
No,
do even with Kendrick
I know.
Lamar.
I know, but we know that in real life, right? We know there are some people that go to the courtroom. When something happens, they go to the authorities. We know that to be just a fact. You know what I mean? So when that happens, we got to expect what comes with that is what comes with that. And it's not something we're happy about or something, but that is just is what it is. But when Drake is in that situation, he's going to react in a way that is a heightened level of seriousness because it actually is. I'm not in Drake's shoes, and people may say I'm giving him the cop out or whatever the case may be. Um, if you are in Drake's shoes, the amount of money that you're spending on personal security for yourself and your family is a large number. It is a large sum of money. The reason why you're doing that is because again, you're an artist. You're also, in his case, he's dropping off more money to UMG than everybody in the building is dropping off. So he's not the same as everyone else. Again, I'm not gonna look for the cop out. And people are gonna say I'm playing devil's advocate, but a bullet coming through the door and hitting your man or something, we may be able to deal with that, right? Drake, a child actor, someone who turned artist, a trained musician, someone who is representing multiple labels, corporations. I'm not going to assume that he's built for that or comes from that or knows how to react after that. That's all. That's all I'm saying. You know what I
I
mean? As
don't I
far as
don't I
what
don't
the
knock I
culture
don't knock Drake for touching. I
Go
don't
ahead. Go
knock
ahead.
Drake for taking attempts or somebody shooting at his, in front of his house. I don't knock him for taking that seriously. I knock him for trying to connect Kendrick Lamar to it without no evidence and putting that into this lawsuit as if this rap beef or they not like us had something to do with somebody getting shot at his house. As if, like, you know what I mean? Like that's really what I'm saying. I think
Right.
that's not even the
I got you.
worst part, because like I said, all that, somebody actually got shot, so I'm not mad at him for, moving his family or um not worrying about rap beef at the time. If that's his excuse, that's fine. You know what I mean? But all this other things that, like, for that to even be in the inside of this rap beef of not inside of the rap beef, but inside of this lawsuit that's
Right.
based on pretty much UMG allowing not like us to go out there, and then you putting that part to the story that, yeah, somebody got shot at my house, as if it has something to do with this song. That's dirty work.
Right. I mean,
So
when you take your case to a lawyer, your lawyer is going to advise certain things. But you know what I
Man, they
mean?
represent you, man. They represent you regardless. So
Servon, what you were saying
yeah,
something?
the reason why I just can't jack what Leroy's saying to the extent is because you have a guy that fully ingrained himself in the culture, said he was the leader or the goat of this culture, and then you go and you do things like this. And it's been a gradual sense of everything with what Kendrick was saying when he's saying not like us with his moves he's been making. You can't ingrain yourself in this, claim to be the goat of this, engage in the things that you engage with then, and then you turn around and you contradict that when it doesn't go in your favor. This has really nothing to do with him and Kendrick to an extent. It has a lot to do with him just not having his way, and he's want to go on against the machine, think he's gonna win. Um, Not only is that the case, but the way he's going about it to try to beat the machine compromises everything of what we love about hip hop. We could talk about violence, we could talk about beefs and how it escalates. That has nothing to do with anything. This has everything to do with if you're going to be a part of this culture, being ingrained in this culture, say you're the leader and the goat of the culture, and you throw the culture under the bus when you're losing, that sends a bad wave not only to his fan base who are looking at him crazy, but to all of hip hop. It's kind of a slap in the face and disrespect to hip hop.
yes,
Don't
it is.
engage in things like this. Go low with things like this, and then when you're the loser, then it goes into what's happening now. I mean, it's real corny and it's a bad cop out because this is a thing that you want to go against UMG on when really we know record labels benefit off beefs. They don't step in. Some labels even will take out insurance for artists. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They are fully invested in beefs. They're not going to step in on this. You know, when artists pass away, they'll give their statement and move on to the next artist who they want to propel into the game. So with this being done,
So I take
it's
issue with that too. I take
there's
issue
no
with you
but
making money, not you, the label. You make money off the artist, and you're not willing to protect the artist's integrity. So I take issue with
when
that.
were
But
they
go.
ever in, were they ever in favor of protecting the artists?
We
I'm not
talk
talking
about
about
we talk about
ever.
protecting integrity. They infuel people to die. We talking about protecting people's lives and shit. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
we
Like,
You said
it's
it.
been people
You
that
said it.
died over this.
You
And
said
not
it.
that's
only that, man, the other part that's so nasty about this too is that, I got to go to this anti-Semitic shit again, man, because he spent most of the time in his diss songs or in his defense songs trying to prove how black he was, and now in this lawsuit, you claim an anti-Semitic, on some on the
Anti-Semitic.
white shit, like anti-Semitism on some white on the white side shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I take issue with that
Right.
too. You know what I mean? Like, pick a side, really. Like, which one are you really? Like, if you even
Uh,
gonna if we even gonna go down that wrong, like, to even play that
that's true.
anti-Semitism shit in a rap beef is dirty work, really. And it's the twist and the play on words. It's like the worst victim
Right.
play of all time.
But super again though, when you are going at a case, your lawyer is going to draft up the wording in your case. Now you're going to look over the wording and sign off on the wording. So I'm not putting it past Drake, but what I'm saying is your lawyer is going to put everything attached to the issue in the wording. that is it is what it
And
is.
listen, I get it, man. I get what you're saying. Maybe that's just some lawyer speak, but him as somebody, he
Yeah,
shouldn't have let that shit go forward in his name. You can't a-okay something like that. You got to know how this shit gonna look on you and the damage. Like I said, I don't think Drake is even looking at it. He just feeling sorry for himself and having a pity party. He don't care about the culture. That's another reason why he doing this shit. But if he really thinking about it, this shit
yeah,
could ruin hip hop, man. This will ruin the spirit of hip hop to the core. You know what I'm saying? Like I hope he lose this shit, and we can't forgive him for this. Man, we can't take him back, man. We can't accept this. And I don't, like I said, I don't give a damn who feature on the album. I don't care what's going on. We gotta pack this dude up. We done with Drake, man. He done. Drake is done,
and,
man. I'm
and not
officially. I took
only
his hip hop card. He done.
not
He out of here.
Yeah,
okay.
and not only is it ruining things for hip hop, it's ruining stuff for he's burying himself in his own career. This is all moves that's hurting you in the long run. But at the end of the day, for somebody to go this far as he's going, I don't think he's looking forward to moving along in hip hop. I mean, he's definitely shown that
Yeah.
he got what he got out the game, and this is how you show that you're done with it. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of moving pieces to this. First of all, I don't think he wants Kendrick to get on that stage at the Super Bowl and perform the song. Number two, I think he wants out of whatever slave deal he got over there at UMG. And thirdly, I think this is like again him giving a middle finger to hip hop. I got what I got out of this. I did all I could do, and now I can go do what I want to. And this furthermore shows you wasn't of the culture; you was a fan of the culture, and that's cool. You got what you got out
That's
of
true.
it, propelled you, and I'm not gonna okay it. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna make it seem like this cool. You know, when I was talking, I've been
I
talking
mean,
about
there's nothing we could do about it.
on the
You know what I
culture
mean?
for years, and people was calling me a hater, and now stuff is going to fruition. Now you see what happens. But I've been saying this thing. I've been speaking about Drake for years in this matter, and it was he's a hater, he's a hater. But slowly and steady, you guys are going to see what I've been talking about. You know,
Like
he's
I
going
was saying when we were on the text though, Servan, we've seen an argument between two guys escalate. So it starts on one level, then it escalates to the next. Then the other guy will take it a step higher. Then the other guy will take it a step higher. Then it becomes a fallout, right? So, however, no matter who's at fault, there are certain words that once you say that word, it's gonna go crazy because it has no other place to go, right? I mean, rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. But when paperwork was mentioned, that sent things into a whole other direction. So when you call someone a PDF file, things are gonna go to a total left field because of the word you use. Again, I don't blame Kendrick Lamar. I know Kendrick, you're defending yourself in your own artistic merit and your coast and what you stand for in this culture. So I appreciate you and I respect that. But we do know certain words are going to trigger a fallout. We have to know that.
hey man, that's
Now,
no
listen,
excuse
man.
for this. You
It's no
can't
excuse.
engage in this. You can't engage in this and provoke it. Like there was a time in that period where you wasn't hearing nothing from Kendrick, and they thought Kendrick wasn't going to respond, and you're putting out double songs. You're provoking this. You wanted this, and then you said disparaging things yourself. Now, what if the
Yeah,
comments about him insinuating him being a woman beater? What if that would have escalated? Then
true,
what? You know what I'm saying? But
true.
because that didn't stick, and another one stuck on you enough to where you're getting embarrassed in this, then you're pointing a finger and you're going to the courts. So that's what I'm saying. Are you in this culture? Do you want to be a part of this? Are you ingrained in this? Or what you say? Are you what you say you are? Or that was all just a front? You're a fan.
Right. My only
Don't
thing
you
is
Hey,
my only
can't
my,
be
my
able
only my
to
only
do
thing
that,
is
bro.
this. If this lawsuit sticks, I'm going back to a point that Super made. I think I made in our group chat. I think there's cause for other people to take action against these record labels that proliferated music that actually caused death and destruction and chaos in communities, right? So back to what's going on in Chicago, like these drill rappers who profited off that music, you know what I'm saying? Because people actually died in the hands of some of those songs that were made and distributed, you know what I mean? So this could open the floodgates and kind of alter hip hop as we know it from a battling perspective, from a diss perspective. But I think the end game of this, I think the end game is that Drake's gonna get a settlement. What he wanted to do. I think he's gonna move into acting. He's gonna get his bag, and his song is not gonna be performed at the Super Bowl, and that's it. I don't think there's any kind of room, as the Super said, for him to kind of pivot back to the culture. I think he's thinking three steps ahead. You're gonna get a $200 million, $150 million settlement, ride off in the sunset and be done with it, get into some movies, and that's it.
I
I mean,
mean, well,
that's how it's
he'll
gonna
do.
play out.
Just one last thing on this, as far as my opinion. I'm from an era where rapping was rare. So if you went outside and you said, I rap. Not everybody rapped. Like, you were one of few. So when you ran into another rapper at school or whatever, that rapper would have a reputation. He would have a something to uphold. He was probably a very aggressive. So y'all would battle it out. Why would you battle it out verbally? Because you didn't want the energy to go somewhere else. And that's what I'm saying. I think we need to remember the purpose of battles. You know what I mean? And get back to why we're even battling in the first place. You know what I
That's
mean?
we're
As
I,
never
far
gonna
as
get back to
I
that
think
80s
as,
style
as
of
far as
battling, bro.
saying there are no rules, as long as we live by, okay, there's no rules, well, then we
Leroy,
can't
you
be
can't tell
upset.
somebody how to react. Like
As long
if
as we
Kendrick
have no
Lamar,
rules, then we can't be upset. There is no rules. See, what you're saying implies that there's a rule, but then you're saying there are no rules. If there's no rules, then whatever Drake does is fine because you're saying there are no rules.
That doesn't make sense though. You're talking about no rules as far as lyrical
Yes,
battle, not outside of music. This has transpired outside of music to where he's going
yes,
to the courts and taking legal stuff that
yes,
is detrimental to not only hip hop, but detrimental to how lyrics can be viewed from this point on, from that
yes.
sense of defamation and all that. This has nothing to do with the battling sense. We're never going to go back to that 80s way of you say something, I say something, and we shake hands at the end all the time. We've surpassed that a long time ago when rappers was getting killed over
Okay, so
these
so
lyrics.
we get what
But
we get.
we can't sit here and
To not
say
shake
that
hands.
we can't. Let me get this off. We can't sit here and be sensitive to this. And we were riding with 50 Cent when he was saying stuff about Ja Rule. We can't
50
sit
Cent,
here. You said what
he
now?
really had real beef. 50
It
Cent
doesn't
really had
matter.
a
It
real
was
street
still
beef.
on wax though, and these were still words said on wax. You didn't see Ja Rule going
Yeah,
to the courts and trying to sue this man over things that he said on wax. And
yeah,
there's been
I
more
think
disparaging
that's a
things said over
different
records
case.
and off records.
I mean, they really were going at each other outside too. It wasn't just rapping. Yeah, but I
But
but I
I'm
hear you.
talking
But
about what's on wax, man. We since what
right.
if you when you engage in this, if you dish it, you got to take it too, bro. You can't just go run and go get the law involved in whatever sense because it
So
didn't go in your.
there's rules outside of the booth, but then
I,
there are no rules in the booth. So I can say anything. But then when I get out the booth, there's rules I have to follow. Is what you're saying.
bro,
Okay.
I
bro.
don't know
We're
what
not
you
gonna
saying,
get
but
off
I'm
on
gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. I would be just as mad if the shoe if it was the shoe was on the other foot. If Kendrick Lamar was suing Drake because he called
facts.
him a wife beater, and he said that his baby mama had a baby by the bodyguard. If he was suing him for defamation of character, or not suing him, but suing the record label for allowing Drake to say this, and it's all false, it's like I would have the same heat for Kendrick if he was doing the same thing.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
either way,
Yeah.
man, like I said, this is a gatekeeping moment, man. Leroy, you one of the first, you one of the ones that's always want to gatekeep something. This is one of the moments
Yeah.
we
No.
can't
True.
play around
True.
with this. Hey, we got he got to get the Will Smith treatment. We was all everybody treated Will Smith like they disowned Will Smith. The Grammys, they or
Oh,
not
okay.
not the Grammys, but the
Right.
whatever the
Yeah.
award shows, they kicked his ass out. They disassociated themselves with him. They uninvited him. He ain't invited to the picnic no more. He ain't invited to the award shows
I
no
mean,
more. He banned.
I even had
Will,
I had
hey,
an issue
Will
with
Smith
that.
he didn't play in no movies for a while. You know what I mean? The gay culture got together and said, you know what? For that shit you
Yeah.
did, we ain't messing with you for a little while. Drake got to get the. I mean, if listen, if not done forever, he got to get the cold shoulder for a very long time, man. Like we gotta
He's
be done with Drake.
exile him out, bro. He's done, bro. Like
Yeah, he
No
done.
doubt.
He done in my book. I
yeah,
never
get
was
him.
with him like that in the first place, so it ain't gonna do me nothing. But any respect, any ounce of respect that I did have for him is gone out the window. Like I said, I'm not reviewing his music. I'm not listening to the shit when it drops. I don't want to hear it. I'm done with him. He don't
Done. All the
exist
way done.
anymore. He does not exist. We done with Drake, man. We done with Drake.
Hey, man.
Hey,
You know,
Leroy and
yeah.
Servan, and then we'll go to the next topic, which is the game documentary.
I mean, I would just say, get your bars off, right? If you got an issue with somebody, that's one reason why I respect Jim Jones. Whenever he has an issue, he goes to the booth. So get your bars off, but just know that how the other person reacts, you don't know how that person's going to react. So you're just assuming they're going to keep it G with you. There's a saying called "keep it G with me, I'll keep it G with you." But you can't expect the other person to always do that. You know what I mean? It just is what it is.
Nobody expects for you to be in a rap battle and next thing somebody suing you over things said in a rap battle that you provoked. You've been dissing this man for years. You asked for this. You've been sneak dissing the same things your records for years. You got what you asked for, and this is your result of you losing. Come on, bro. I can't cape for that. I can't. If this
Yeah.
is gonna be what hip hop is gonna be about, you know what I'm saying? Like from here on out, battling wise, bro, we might as well just say fuck rap. You know what I'm saying? Because this is not what it was ever about, bro. Like hip hop beefs, if it's on wax, it's on wax. You know, reading through that and that lawsuit, what is like 80 something pages. Reading through that, the things that was said in that lawsuit, those papers is ridiculous, man. Claiming anti-Semitism,
Yeah.
violence, inciting violence. He said when Kendrick said wop 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 dot fuck them up, that's engaging, inciting violence. Come on, bro. When he said that that Oakland stop would be a last stop, he said that's inciting violence. He said he had to move his
That's
kid.
a threat on his life. That was a threat on his life.
Yeah, you're in Toronto, bro. Like this is the people that you said that stand behind you. And you're claiming these things are going. So you mean to tell me Kendrick has that much power and influence that your own people turn against you? And so it's just like this is crazy to me. Like it sounds ridiculous, man. And
I don't
the
think they looked at it as serious. I don't think UMG looked. I think UMG was just doing their business. Like, oh, we're just doing business,
UMG
and
let both things fly on each side.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They didn't step in and intervene when Drake was doing what he was doing, and just a long list of other rappers he engaged in beefs and battles with. They didn't step
I
in on none
got
of
you.
that. Not even
I got
this.
you. But Servan, imagine you're one of the most recognizable people on planet Earth, and then I say something like, yeah, you better watch your step somewhere. I mean, again, I'm not gonna keep going through it. And again, I'm not mad at Kendrick. I'm not mad at whoever feels away because I'm from that culture in which that you represent so I understand. But things sometimes go left when you're dealing with certain individuals. It's just like in the street when somebody goes and runs to tell the police, you like, bro told, like, we don't understand that.
You
But
can't slap me and I punch you back and then you gonna run to the police. That's not what happens. That's not like who does that?
yeah, nobody I know, but
That's what this literally is. You baited me to
yeah, no,
come
I know,
outside.
yeah, I know.
You slap me and I punch you and you gonna run and
Yeah,
tell. That's what this is.
I I agree with. I see you. I feel you. I'm hearing what you're saying, and I'm not mad at it. But we're here now. So I think that what we should do as a culture is when we go on an attack, I think that we should know how to do that without going completely crazy. Now, if you're of the philosophy of I have no rules when I talk, well, then if you have no rules when you talk, then there are no rules to how things happen outside of the booth because you came in with a no rules mentality.
I just
All right,
like I
super.
said, Leroy.
Last word on this, super. Last word, and we're gonna move on. Last word on this,
that
super.
I didn't think that's being too polite. You know what I'm saying? Like for this whole thing. I mean, like I don't
I got you.
I don't see a big. I think that if like who would be so angry and mad about something that ain't true? It's just like Kendrick. Like I don't like when he called him a wife beater. If the shit ain't true, I don't think he was even tripping about that shit. He was like, man, I ain't gotta address that shit. I ain't gotta overreact to it. I don't have to
Yeah.
put some type of validity to it. He didn't have to address it. But my last words to this man is we done with Drake. That's my last words, man. We done with Drake. We gotta kick him off the culture. Man, you got this dude tried to take down a black hero, man. No matter how people feel about LeBron James, man, LeBron James got an image, man. You don't this everything, every move this man has made has just been anti-culture. You don't pull a Hannibal Buress on LeBron James, man. You don't do that shit to LeBron James. You don't try to expose, act out of order
Right.
for that shit too. You don't try to expose a LeBron James. You don't take another black hero down and shit. Like, somebody from
That's
your
right.
own fucking culture. You don't do that for the sake of a rap beef over fandom of Drake. We doing
Right.
this because because LeBron James went to a concert and
Right.
embarrassed you because you got a tattoo on his arm. We exposing him to the world. We taking down black heroes and shit because of this. Shit, the whole thing is bogus, man. Claiming
You're right.
anti-Semitic Semitism in hip hop, because
You're right.
well, I don't even know why. Just because just because you Jewish and people know it, you know what I mean? Like that, the whole thing is nasty. I don't even want to keep. I don't want to have to go into it. This this probably my last time talking about Drake for the rest of my life. Like for real, I'm done with Drake. He don't exist to me no more, y'all. And like I'm
Please,
saying, like
please. Yeah.
I'm good on Drake forever. And we should, all of us should. We can't allow this shit, man. We can't allow for this type of shit to happen. This will probably be the last rap battle until hip hop is played out and gone. Well, that's my last words.
Wow. So that was good. That was a good conversation, guys, on this, man. If you want to check out the lawsuit, read it in its entirety, you can go on the internet and check it out. But let's segue into something else real quick. Leroy, I want you to start it off. We're going to take it to the West Coast. The game, the documentary, the debut album from a man, Jason Taylor, came out 2005. Leroy, what was your thoughts? And we'll go around and give us some thoughts about the game, the documentary that's celebrating the 20-year anniversary. So you was on the West Coast
Yeah.
at the time. What was it like when the game dropped? What do you think about the
Oh,
documentary and where's
all
this
right.
place in hip hop history?
So, salute to the game. He's been doing a lot of work with the fires in California. Helping out down there, and I appreciate that. I wish, I could get a link on that, and see if there's something, that can be done. But, game was fire. When he came out with the documentary, well, first, I had some friends in the Bay Area, and he had come down here to record. So I remember some of my friends telling me, yeah, there's this dude Game, he's fire. He's out here rapping. Just came out here, did a whole project. And I was like, okay, I actually went to the label, but I had just missed him. He had just left, so I didn't get a chance to meet Game. But when the documentary dropped, of course, we were talking about a massive record. Now, G Unit, they're already set the stage. 50 G Unit. So then you get Young Buck. So so that's the South representative. Then you get California in Game, right? That could get spicy. LA is spicy. What I mean? As far as just the culture that is there. So when I said, okay, they're going to go this route, someone who's officially from where he say he from, I said it could get spicy. When I heard the album, it was fire. You know what I mean? West Side Story, Dreams, Church for Thugs. The record with Nate Dogg. I mean, come on, man. Come on. I'm like, this guy's going crazy, and he had bars. We appreciate somebody with bars. So the album was phenomenal. Did like 5 million. He carried California on his back for quite some time. So I mean, this is before Kendrick Lamar. Like before Kendrick Lamar, who are we looking at as someone who's carrying the torch? It would have to be Game. You know what I mean? So the album is super dope to me. So that's what I remember. It being super dope. You know what I'm saying? That's my thought on it.
No doubt, no doubt. Servan, what's your
Yeah.
thoughts on the documentary? They're super.
Yeah, the dope thing about Game, for me around that album was I was hearing the name, I was seeing him like cameo in some videos, like the Stump video towards the end for Buck. When they did the Stump portion on, I think it was at the end of the Let Me Out video, one of those videos. You see Game in there, he got the ski over it. We see him in a couple other videos. We're just hearing roars of him. I remember looking at Double XL, and, it was anticipated. It was so much hype going into it, and then they dropped the masterpiece. Like the production was there, the features was there, and this was a new introduction of reviving the West. He carried the West, he put it on his back, and he carried it for a long time. He was like the face of it, reviving it, and we can't take that away from him. Game was, and he showed improve on the later albums. You know, I felt like he brushed up a lot. His the way that he started rapping and the way he started formulating songs, you could see his progression from here. But this is a hell of an introduction and a hell of a debut to the world, and it definitely did a lot for the West, and it did a lot, you know, like it or not, what they may say about each other later on in interviews. It did a lot for the legacy of 50, the legacy of G Unit, the legacy of what's coming from under that Dr. Dre tree. So it was great. I remember listening to this from beginning to end. I stuck with this album for a long time, and I was just like, damn, man, I couldn't wait for whoever else was going. It kind of made me feel like anybody else who joined G Unit was going to be fire because I didn't hear nothing trash from anybody. Even Yayo had a dope album. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man.
Exactly.
Just anticipation with the quality of music, they both was there, man. It was chef's kiss. You know, no complaints here, man. I love that album.
Yeah,
Super.
but
What say you,
one
sir?
second before you cook though, he studied too. He was in the hospital recovering from his wounds, and he studied all the greats until he could mimic their style almost to perfection. Hence the name Game. So that's one thing. I think the studying of the greats is a good strategy. Okay. Yeah.
I remember when I first heard the album, I was just impressed with him being from the West Coast, how lyrical he was. Like he was lyrically great. Um, Especially at I don't want to say at that time, but just for a West Coast rapper, he kind of more or less had like a East Coast style that people were kind of more impressed with lyrically and it's the way he
Mhm.
sounded. I don't want to say he reminded me of Nas, but he kind of like for some reason he just reminded me of a West Coast kind of version of Nas, just like the way he kind of sounded and like I guess his rap pattern and flow. Um,
Yeah.
I, it might be wild thing to think and shit,
Not
but that's
Dreams. The song Dreams.
it. Kind
Yeah.
of yeah, and it kind
Yeah.
of came to mind. Like I said, just because how lyrically he was. Like when I would compare him to be a West Coast Nas. That's how I used to think about him back in the day. But um, I thought Game was better than 50 when I first heard him too. I was like, man, this
Gotcha.
dude rap better than 50. I thought he was lyrically better than 50. But as far as the album, man, the album is a great album. You know what I mean? Like he put in a lot of work on there. 50 put in a lot of work. They sounded great. I mean, it just make you wish that they could have stuck together for longer because they was a great combination. Like 50 and Game could have been a great combination. Like really great. Like imagine if we could have got
Yeah.
a 50 and Game album together, and you know what I mean? Like imagine like that shit. You know what I mean? But
They complemented.
Crazy.
overall,
They complemented each other well, man. They bounced. They could have been
yeah,
like the Aftermath, G Unit, Ray and Ghost. You know what I'm saying? Or Styles P and
yeah,
Jada. You know what I'm saying? Because they had chemistry. And they bounced off each other really well. What I'll say about this Game album is that they and I'm gonna give. This is how you cite sources. I was watching another podcast the other night, and one of the hosts, his name is AG. He said this is like one of those albums where they put all the producers together and they made something great. So I'm gonna give him credit. That's how you properly cite sources, right? So he had the
Type.
idea. And I said that was a good idea. So this album right here was that. You had High Tech, you had Scott Storch and Dr. Dre did their beats, Timbaland, you had Cool and Dre, you had Just Blaze, you had Kanye. So those producers, they threw everything at this album. This is like brought the West Coast back. And I think the original name of this album was NWA. They changed the name to Documentary. I don't know if y'all remember this back in the day.
Mm.
In the Source and XXL, the original poster was like a black poster and had Game and Dr. Dre and Impala, and it was a Game NWA album dropping, but they changed the name to Documentary. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
this is the last album. That's like one
Right.
of those the late '90s, early 2000 albums where they put a lot of producers on it, and it didn't sound disjointed either. It sounded like it was a cohesive body of work.
yeah,
And
put together.
the weakest song on the album was y'all know what the weakest song was. The Eminem song was the weakest one on the album. They could have left that one off and it would have really been a classic, but it is what it is.
All right. I'm trying to remember that one, man. I love that.
You
So
don't
I'm
nobody
trying.
remember that how whack
I
it was.
heard
I
you
didn't
last
remember
night.
it until I went back and listened to it. That shit was whack.
I remember it. The record wasn't bad to me. I just didn't like him switching to the shady flow on that song. I think it
Right,
was like
right.
the second verse on there. I think he was rapping like M. And I don't that I have criticisms towards Game as much as I love Game too. I don't like when he had try to adopt others' flows like that chameleon thing he does with it. Because I think him enough with how he attacks joints. His voice is commanding enough for the records where he doesn't really have to imitate somebody else's flow, you know. But other than that, I still love that album. Like, he had the perfect. I mean, think about it. Your debut album and those producers you have, the backing of 50 and Dre and all them going into it, and you have features from Nate Dogg, Eminem, 50. You know, Marsha Ambrosia was on that album. You know, was it that album he had the joint with Busta too?
I think that may be
Yeah,
the
that was
next
the
one.
last. That was the
Like,
like Father Like Son. That was the last. That was like Father Like Son. That was the last
right.
joint.
You're right. You're right.
yeah,
You're right.
like Father Like Son. Yeah. So
Right.
I mean, just the features and the production and all that on this album, man. Yeah, it was a perfect storm for him. He had the perfect introduction to the game. You can't ask for anything better than that for an artist. You know,
Do y'all think this game? Do y'all think this is his best album?
No.
Nah, I wouldn't say it's his
No,
best.
no. You got he got a lot of
Doctor's
dope
Advocate?
albums. Doctor's
I
Advocate was
love
cool.
Doctor's Advocate.
Born to
No,
Rap.
Doctor's
Born to Rap was a dope album. Born to Rap was a dope album. The Red album was
How about
dope.
that was fire.
Born to
Yeah.
Rap. If y'all haven't heard Born to Rap, go back and listen to Born to Rap. That's a really dope album. That might be Game's top 3,
Game
top 5.
actually has a lot of good albums, man.
And
Because
I was going to say, I don't think Game has one whack album, really. I even like 1992. I don't think Game got one whack album. Like, I could really say that's whack. I don't think he got one.
Whack?
Yeah, like,
no.
you know,
I wouldn't say.
I really like Jesus Piece. I like Jesus Piece a lot too. You know, but I think my favorite is Doctor's Advocate because, you know, you come from the debut of having the perfect storm and all this, and then whatever transpired, the breakup with G-Unit and everything, and you kind of on your own. There's not really Dre production, and he delivered. You know, and it was more of a personal album as well, and it was really more authentically West Coast sounding as well. Too, you know, I love the way he was spitting on the record. He was like the dark horse at the time, and he showed that he could still deliver without that help that he had on the first album. So that's why I really like that album a lot. And plus, he had a song on that album that I like, Old English. You know, that's my shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
That shit
saying?
was fire.
I think LAX. I mean, not LAX, but I think
Doctor's Advocate.
But I really like LAX. I really like what
Documentary
I say?
2.
Documentary 2 was fire. I
Documentary
like
2 is crazy.
on that. But
Yeah.
I really like Jesus Piece and LAX and the is what the Wolf the Full Moon joint. It was when he went independent. I like that joint. He had the record on there with Soulja Boy on the hook, Yo Gotti, 2 Chainz, and all them on that record. He was spitting on there. He had the last verse on there, and he spazzed.
I got it now. My favorite project from the game is it's not one of his albums, but it's a project called Perp and Patron. It's a double album. But if you go find Perp and Patron, however you got to find it, but the way he's rapping on there is ridiculous. And he's having a back and forth with Wayne. He got like hitters on there, but Perp and Patron is a mixtape he did. And it was like it was right around the time of Jesus Piece. It's right in that time period, but he is going crazy on there. You know what I mean?
Crazy, great.
Is Game, other than Tupac, is Game really the best West Coast rapper? Is like really like lyrically and top to bottom? Is Game really the best West Coast rapper?
He could be on
Other
the
than
list.
Ice Cube, you know.
I don't know if I can say he's the best.
I think you have to say Snoop. You put Snoop ahead of the Game. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
You
but
mean like bars?
is Snoop really lyrically better than Game? You know, I mean, I would say impact wise, but is he really lyrically? Is he
Yeah, you
really
mean
lyrically
bars.
nicer than Game on the mic? I don't think that
No,
Snoop is
not
the best than
lyrically.
Game.
You know, we like how Snoop's voice complements the records and how he says things more so than his lyrical ability. You know, I'm not going to sit here and act like he's a lyrical monster because Snoop is not, but we respect him by the way he say things, like the way he attacked
Yeah.
1, 2, 3 into the 4,
Yeah.
like that type of stuff. That's why we love Snoop. Nobody else could sound like Snoop. Snoop is Snoop, but lyrical ability, Game is better than Snoop lyrically.
You got
Yes.
Corrupt.
I'm just saying. I'm
You
just really
got
speaking
Corrupt.
on the technical and lyrical level.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't. It's hard for me to think of somebody else from the West
How
that's
about
really.
how about Roz Cos? How about Corrupt?
Yeah, Corrupt is
Fire.
a
I mean,
beast. Corrupt's
Yeah,
Corrupt
I
is
mean,
nice,
we
but
know
I don't think they on
we know
game
what.
level.
Corrupt
I
is
mean,
Raz,
I think
Razcos.
Raskars is up there lyrically and technically.
we know what Razzcast can do, but
I
I
think
think
Exhibit is a
all
beast as
encompassing
well.
Game is probably the most. He has the most tools on in his art in his craft to put together great albums, great songs. He's conceptually he can write great songs. I think I think the standard for the West Coast is Ice Cube lyrically. If we're looking at early Ice Cube, Ice Cube is touching so many topics. It's insanity. But as far as what Game does, Game is very official. So if someone went with him as number two, as the best, or even if someone said he's the best on the West Coast, I don't take issue with that because all around song making, album making, Game is official. He has solid projects, bars, dope concepts. He could do all the different styles. Yeah, I
He's top
mean,
5 out the West. He's definitely top 5
I,
out the West.
I think he underrated as far as his catalog too. I think he got a better catalog than 50. I think his
mhm.
catalog is like collectively is better than Kendrick's, Eminem's. Like game a little underrated, man. When you really put it, when you really start checking off the boxes, game underrated, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Bro,
I always, and I've said this on Mic Check. I said Game's catalog is overshadowed because I think the controversy oversees the praise that we want to give him from how dope of a catalog he has, and I think he knows it, and I think that's why he steps out and challenges certain individuals like an M or whatever because he wants to prove he should be up there being talked about at that same level, and so I'm not mad at it. It's just like the antics or the whys of it is, or that things kind of overshadow people being able to praise him for the greatness of work that
Right,
he's done.
and I think to your point, Siobhan, I think a lot of that reality TV shit causes legacies to be tarnished. Like you see it with Ti, right? You see it with the Game. I think Ja Rule had a reality show. Who else had a reality show? Like there's reality shows kind of take away your
love and
mystique.
hip hop. Yeah, man.
Love and hip hop, it takes away your mystique as an MC. So when Game did For the Love of Game, and when you had the Ja Rule had one, I think where him and Irv had a reality show, and then you
Right.
had Ti, the family hustle. That takes away as how people look at you as an artist, and I think. I mean, they made good moves. I thought they made good moves for themselves, and maybe it was for their business why they
Business
did that.
wise.
But I think from a MC perspective, that kind of made people kind of look at them in a different light, and people don't hold them in high regard because of those reality TV moves.
I can see that. I can
Yeah.
see that. I mean, I think his personality, Game has a certain personality that not everybody is familiar with. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna hype up the streets or nothing like that, but he comes from a very confrontational background. So when you're putting that personality on a nationwide scale, people not used to really dealing with that. I mean, all the time. So it is what it is. You know what I mean?
I
Yeah,
think reality TV shows got a lot of hip hop artists looking like suckers. I mean, the only one that probably came out of there looking halfway decent is Joe Budden's. The rest of them niggas be looking like suckers as soon as that shit is over with.
Yeah, the only,
Jim
now,
Jones looked like a sucker. I mean,
right. The only one that came out of reality TV came out better was Cardi B. That was it.
With Cardi B, yeah,
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 man,
no doubt.
That's the only one I can think of,
that,
man. But let's get to the next topic. We got two more topics where we gonna end the show. These are two topics I personally don't want to get into because we've been getting into them all day. But let's start off with Liangelo Ball, man. There's a lot of people on the internet commenting about Liangelo Ball's deal, saying what does it mean
Right.
for the young artists? What does it mean for hip hop? Me personally, the way I look at it, I think, I wasn't privy to the business. I wasn't in the room negotiating the deal. I don't know anybody in that camp, but for what's been reported, between $8 to $13 million. Hey, if that's the deal he got, that's the deal he got. Def Jam signed him to that deal. We don't know. I haven't even looked at it. I don't even know if it's. I just Ron, you might have sent it. I don't even know if it's on the internet. If what the details are, but
yeah, I still haven't seen a breakdown in details.
I mean, shout out to that young man. Maybe, shout out to his father. I don't know if his father had anything to do with the deal, but it seems like he's always had his sons in position to make good business moves. So again, I think he has more music in the tuck. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. I'm actually quite confident that they wouldn't have signed that deal if he didn't have any music. But we'll see how it goes. But man, shout out to that young man. I don't have a problem with it, but I see other people commenting
Uh-huh.
publicly on their pod saying it's, hating on the young man. But I open the floor up to people. Leroy, what's your perspective? Then we go to Super, then we go to Servan. What's your thoughts on this deal? I know y'all had a lot of thoughts in the chat, so
Yeah.
let's kind of
Okay.
recreate.
So I'm never hating on somebody getting money. So if people think that's what this is about, oh, okay. But
No, not you. I'm saying
yeah,
some other
yeah,
people,
yeah.
some other
You know,
podcasts I sent you in the chat was specifically
yeah,
talking
no,
about that.
getting money is great in terms of having money when you go into a deal, right? I don't think it's necessary for you to take a lot of money from a label if you're going in a situation where you already have the money. Now, I'm not knocking you if you get it because what am I? I'm telling you to turn down money. I mean, that sounds crazy, right? But if your back is not to the wall, I don't think that you need to move off a money play. That's one. Um, Second, you know what I mean? I do kind of feel a way, not directed at Liangelo, because I could have no energy for Liangelo. He's doing what he do, right? But there are artists that have dedicated their lives to this, have dropped whole catalogs, are very skilled, have a fan base already in place, have a touring career already in place. So I'm wondering why they don't have this same consideration because people are assuming that okay, well this guy he made a hit song, so he could just keep doing that over and over. I think that you're maybe assuming too much. You know what I mean? Because this is a skill, and some people believe that you're just born with it. Oh, I was born with this skill. The reality is it takes a lot of honing of a craft. The artists that you saw that just popped years before they were honing their craft. Now, whatever Liangelo does, wish the brother success. I'm never the type to not wish somebody success, but I'm just saying this chasing of a one hit and then we're just going to chase that hit versus having someone who you know when they step in the studio, they already have all the tools mastered. It's a different product. It's two different products. So we'll see what the brother can do. I'm not mad at it. I do question the thinking behind whether the deal is real or not real. I question the thinking behind that because just throwing money does throwing money make your music um pop to everybody? If it does, keep throwing money, but we'll see. You know what I mean? So that's it. I think I really stand on skill. I really do. I don't think we should throw skill out the window. You know what I mean? Because I think that is very important. If we start naming all the great MCs, we're going to be naming people with skills back to back to back to back to. That's not by accident. And I'm not saying the brother doesn't have skills, but you know, Drake is not Drake because he made best I ever had, and that's all he could make. Drake is Drake because he made a hit, then another one, then another one, then another one, then another one. This brother has a basketball career. First of all, it takes learning your craft to be in the NBA. You can't just walk on the court and be like, "Well, I'm here now, and I'm just here." But it takes a skill set. You know what I mean? So we'll see what he could do. Wish him the best,
I,
man. But
I disagree with you, Leroy. I mean, sometimes you get a walk on man that can hoop. You know what I mean? Like so,
yeah, yeah, come out and
he just
play. Come
hey,
out and play.
hey,
But you got some
he'll
serious
walk.
animals
He'll,
out here.
he'll walk on. He'll walk on that came on. He balling right now. You know what I mean? I can't knock the young man. It's been a lot of guys that I felt was whack that got deals. But I think that the real thing that I'm not calling him whack either. You know what I mean? Because I mean, really, it's not my lane to pay attention to like that. I think it's I'm not outraged by it at all. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not even really paying attention to that shit right now. But I did pay attention to his deal, and I think what the thing to take from this is newer artists should be looking at how he got his deal structured. I mean, the dude came in shit like from what I've been hearing, he got his own record label coming from this shit. He owned his masters already off top. He got like he already they the industry got some type of plans for
Yeah,
him.
but
So I don't think
they don't
I
have a
don't think that
choice. The
I don't
labels
think that
have
they
to give
doing
them
this
that.
just based. They're not doing this based on one hit. They whatever it is that they got an outlook, they got a plan for him, or he got a plan that he broke down to them. I mean, the industry is in a bind too. Who's to say that they don't give this man all of the leftover Drake songs and make him a superstar? You know what I'm saying? So, but either way, I don't have no real feelings towards it. I mean, I get what Leroy trying to say that, you know, the industry or the record label should be caring more about more serious and
Yeah.
more people, more artists that study and care about the craft more. And that, you know, I know what you're really trying to
Right.
say, but that ain't how this shit work, man. They care about money and what's popping right now. So
So you get what you get. If
yeah,
you get
but that's
music
what we've been getting.
that's
That's
not a
why we've
hit,
been getting. We've been getting Jack Harlow's, man. We've been getting Lil
so
Yachty's.
you
We've
got
been
to be
getting a
happy
lot of.
with Jack Harlow. You got to be happy
Nah,
with Jack because you're
Yachty got a
saying
lot.
that's the
Yachty
thing.
got a lot better. So you gotta give these
Yeah,
youngsters a little time to grow. Yachty got a little bit better than when he first came out. He was trash, but Yachty grew to be a writer and a producer, and Yachty got his own little pocket. Now, I get what you're saying.
So
Yachty
this
started
guy is
off
going to
kind of
hit the
crazy.
basketball court, then leave the basketball arena, go to the studio, and be super dope. If you can do both at the same time, I applaud you. I don't think one person is going to be great at both of
hey,
those lanes.
hey, don't
It requires
Leroy,
too
don't
much.
you rap and work at the same time, right?
Yes,
All right,
it's
so
very
it can be
difficult.
done, man.
Super. I'm in the studio because of you. Like you said, you want to hear
I'm just
something.
saying
That's
though,
why.
like
And
let that let that young man chew bubble gum and walk at the same time. I mean, it is what it is, man. Let it's their
I
world,
got
man.
you.
Let them have it. Shit, you know.
So Vaughn, before you cut,
Yeah,
let me
yeah,
get to
yeah.
these super chats real quick, and I just want to say one thing before I get to the super chats. Just don't think Def Jam was alone in this deal. You don't go to negotiations with one deal in your pocket. There was other record labels and other situations probably
Yeah,
out percolating out there. They're the reason why Def Jam came to the table with the deal that they had. So I know a lot of people are excoriating Def Jam right now and roasting Def Jam, but they're not the only people out there to offer the deal. But let me get to the super chats real quick. Mad Max, shout out to Mad Max. If your antics overshadow your music, then your music ain't all that. ODB had antics, 50 had antics, Cam, etc. Game catalog is okay, but it ain't special. People accepted R. Kelly's sick behavior, but the music was fire. Well, again, we can agree to disagree. I think Game had a good run. Mad Max with the super chat says, if T.I. in the game had real 5 mic songs, oh, come on now, Mad Max, man. You know T.I. got 5 mic records,
That
man. Let's stop.
Max. Max,
Come
man.
on, man. Come on, man. We wouldn't care about it if the antics. We would excuse it since people don't excuse his. That means his music may be decent or good, but not special or great. Mad Max, young man, T.I. and
no,
Game have special music.
Yeah, I
I
don't
agree
agree.
with Max though. I agree with him to a certain extent though.
To a
I
Yeah,
certain
feel what
extent.
Max. I feel what he's saying.
But let's not get it twisted. 24s, you know what I'm saying? I still ain't forgave myself doing my job. You know what I'm saying? Rubber band man. T.I. got joints, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Front back. You know what I'm
Man,
saying? Time
you can't be Ti without putting 100% into your work, or else you're not gonna be
down with
Ti.
the king, down with the king mixtape. I mean, let's be for real. Let's be for real. So Ron, cook up real quick. What's your thoughts on this?
I mean, I'm not mad at Liangelo. Get your money. Um, you know, I don't even think he expected it to be as big as it is, and it just happened to work out for him. I'm never mad at. Get your money. The issue is the labels. And we knew the music business haven't been running strictly off who's the most talented. You got to look at it from another perspective. When we're talking about people, why would you sign this? The song's not that great or whatever. You got to look at it. They don't really have to do no real work. The internet is already cooking on this record. Whether they laughed it in there or not, it already generated the hype. It already got the streams. It did all that. You don't need to promote this. It's in your platter. You handing him all the stuff that y'all would have put your money in on a silver platter. It's already there. All he has to do from this point on is either you make this grow and this be a one-hit wonder, or you have more in the tuck and you keep it coming. Whether people like it or not, it's just the way the industry is going. I mean, it's the same kind of thing with Sexy Red. You see, she came out of nowhere, it blew up, and now she has a career. You know what I'm saying? These labels are not looking for who's the most popular. They're looking at who we can make money off of, and um, the internet has power. You know, something blows up on the internet. If you make a hot song tomorrow and it goes viral and everybody's looking at it, you probably have tons of labels hitting you up too, wanting to strike iron while it's hot. So we seen
No
it with
doubt.
Red, we seen it with Trinidad James, we seen it with a lot of people, and it's just it is what it is, man. If this is something that grows for him that he could live off it, and that's that one hit wonder. Cool. If it fails, cool. You had your moment. You got some money out of it. Whatever. If you come with more and it transitions to you having a real hip hop career, that's dope. But I'm never gonna be mad at him. We got to start looking at these labels that's doing what they're doing and seeing that they're being lazy. That's really what it is. But it's all about that money.
Well,
You can
yeah,
drink.
yeah,
You don't.
that too. I mean, money could be like alcohol too. You could drink and you could have a really good time. Now you keep guzzling and guzzling and guzzling and guzzling alcohol, something could happen. You know what I mean? So when you're just chasing, 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 chasing. Now I'm a student of Mickey Fax, Lupe Fiasco. When they step to the table and they already have music that people haven't heard that is so incredible, if people heard it, it would obviously make an elevation. It would be an elevation in the culture. So what are we here to do now? That's not a diss to Liangelo Ball, because I don't know what you got. Maybe you could have the greatest music already loaded up. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I think that this is a craft, and the more we say, okay, well, the talent don't matter, the numbers on YouTube matters, or the numbers on Instagram matters. All that is well and dandy, but in the long run, the labels are smart enough to know that stuff don't matter, because that stuff's gonna go up and come right back down, and that's all it's gonna do. If I'm wrong in this case, I'd love to be wrong. Prove me wrong. But we know historically that chase is going to go up and come crashing down very quickly. So
Well,
if that's what
th-
y'all want, do
this
that.
is, but this is a reflection of what the people propel to be that high. People tend to laugh stuff into it being popular and it blowing up. We see it done. It was a joke to a lot of people, but you're resharing it and they're resharing it, and then it starts to get catchy, and now some people got it in their head and they actually start liking the song. I mean, the labels are just reacting to what the people are claiming to be what they want and what they're ranting and raving about. They're looking at that. Oh, this is what you guys like. This is what you guys are going to entertain. I'm gonna put my
Yeah.
money to that. So if you're speaking about people like Lupe and stuff like that, and if their fans really want to demand that these people be propelled to be on that level, they need to cause the same ruckus and stuff for them than the same people that do for what we claim to be trash. I mean, if you guys are real supporters, make it known. Be proud about that. Propel that,
Yeah,
and then that
That's
that will be.
true.
I can't be mad at this guy doing this off. It is organic. He didn't do anything, but it was a clip, and he didn't have to do anything. He didn't get on there and promote it. He didn't, you know what I'm saying? It caught on, and people did what they did. You got to blame that on the shit that we uphold to be
I don't
popular.
I don't even
And the
want to
other
place any blame.
labels
I
on
don't want
trying
to
to
place any blame.
you
I don't
know.
want
I
to
just
place
think
any blame.
we
I just want to stand on something. Like it seems in hip hop the goal is standing on nothing. As long as we stand on nothing, we'll have a free for all. I need the
well, we should
culture
be
to
standing on Drake.
stand on
We should be
something.
standing on Drake.
Pick something to stand on. It is integrity, or is money more important than the talent? If so, just say that. I know a bunch of people with money. We'll let them in. So
Talent has
so
it's a small
I
percentage.
think that's
no, if
pretty
we're
much
gonna
obvious
pay,
though. At this
we
point,
can just
I
pay.
think
We'll
I
let,
think the money is more important though, Leroy. That's obvious at this point in hip hop.
okay, so we got to
You know
Been
what I
stand
mean?
on
obvious
that.
for a long
We
time.
got to stand
But
on
that's
that.
how that's
We
how
got
that's
to
how it's
support the.
Especially
that's
when
how
it
it's always been though. This is not a new
We got to
phenomenon with
support the
Liangelo Ball. Let's not act like this is the first
no,
We
time.
got to stand by that.
no.
We got to support the rich. If we're gonna stand on money, is that important? Stay there. So the dude with talent that's coming up, he ain't got that paper, man. We push him to the side.
But that's how it always was
Don't
though,
need a
Leroy.
paper.
Because let me tell y'all a story. Right, back in the day, Mike tried to rap. Right,
That's
Mike was
who.
Mike.
That's who. You're talking about how they do business.
But no,
We
let me
didn't come
let,
up like that.
but yeah, we
We did
did come
not
up.
come up like that.
Let me tell you a story. But Mike used to be a part of a group called Wood Grain. I used to manage this group called Wood Grain. We were naive. We would go back and forth to New York trying to get a deal with the Russell Simmons music group. And we learned quickly that talent wasn't part of it. Mike's stuff was fine. Wood Grain's music was great. But it wasn't about the music. We got back to Atlanta. If you didn't have a $30,000 bag to take to the club, to Magic City, that the Dope Boys had, they didn't play our records. DJ Drama played our
Right.
records a couple times. He did it off strength. That's why I always got love for Drama. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have to slide him no paper. But if you came back to Atlanta, you went to New York, Even we had to go to Birmingham. If you wasn't sliding folks no paper, a bag of
Right.
10,000, it wasn't never about talent. It was about you got the money, or
All right.
you that's how it was. That's how. Oh, and that was
Stand
we
on
talking
that.
about
Stand on
in
that.
2000. So we learned a quick lesson that it wasn't about talent. It's about this money. It's always been like that.
I
I'm
think the
I'm gonna
first
stand on
example.
the talent. You ain't gotta pay me no money to get a look from me. If you have
I think
talent, okay.
I think the first example of this happening was really Soldier Boy. You know what I mean? Like where it happened to be, it just happened to catch fire. Like Soldier
Superman.
Boy, I would say, yeah, I would say, like if y'all go, you got to go back and think about this. I mean, I don't know how old half our audience is, but y'all got to go back and think about this, man. The first time, I'm gonna speak for myself and for the people that was around me, people in my age range. The first time we heard Soldier Boy, we thought the damn world was coming to an end. We couldn't believe that it was getting played on the radio. We couldn't believe that this shit was getting played on the radio. So times changed, man. Ever since that time, if it's hot, the industry, I believe, talent went out the window. Ever since that Soldier Boy cranked that, ever since that took off, they just been looking for the next hot thing. And if a guy should happen to make a career out of it like Soldier Boy did, so be it. You know what I mean? But I just think this not the first time we've seen this happen.
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna challenge people for everybody to say something is trash. I need you and complaining on the internet. I want you to reverse that and propel who you want to be up there by the masses. You guys go support these artists that you guys claim is so better than the trash is out there, and maybe that will start getting some notice. Because
They need
if
they
you
need a few $1,000,000 in their pocket to do that.
it's not doing anything. It's honestly shining more light on this individual you're speaking about. Why don't you take that energy and put it towards people who you really like? Because for me, I don't listen to shit I don't like. It doesn't make it to my ears. If I don't like it, I'll give anything a listen. But if I don't like it, I'm not going to keep on listening to it. And people listen to hate. People listen to criticize. People listen so they can just give a reaction. I listen to stuff that feed me that I like hearing. I don't care. Sometimes it's the most lyrical. Sometimes it's not. But I just can't fix myself to listen to shit I don't like. And I advise people to not do that either. If you truly don't like it,
The label can
and
make you listen.
about it,
A
listen to
label
what you
can
like.
make you listen.
Want that.
A label can make you listen, Servan. They can make
No,
sure
they
that
can't
when
make me listen to shit. If I don't like it, I hit stop. I go to the shit I want to
they
hear.
can
They
make
can't make shit.
they can make you listen. They can make sure that when you go watch the next basketball game, right, that the song comes on. So you're
It doesn't
watching
even
the
have to like it
basketball,
though, bro.
but you're hearing it. They can
It
make
doesn't
sure
mean I
when you
like
go
it
to.
though. I don't have to
I'm
like
just
it.
saying they just made you hear it. That's all I'm saying. They
For
can't.
example, you like
They just made you hear it.
you just for example,
Yeah.
you was talking about that Busta shit, right? I didn't go
Yeah.
listen to that. I
That's
didn't go
cool.
listen to that. And I'm just gonna be
That's cool.
honest.
He's
I wasn't
not
playing
from your
that ass album.
generation.
I don't like something. I don't listen to it, bro. I don't care how many times you play it. I can get in the car with you and you can play it every day. And I'm gonna sit here, nigga, if you don't turn this shit off, or I could just simply put my
I'm
beats on
saying
and
they could make you hear it. When you
I
go
don't have to
down
listen to stuff I don't like.
Well,
what you're saying is the fans should go out and support more. Well, they got to support with money. A lot of y'all don't have millions of dollars, so you can throw $10 at the project, and that's great, and the artists appreciate that. But you can't throw $8 million, $13 million at the project. Good luck with
They just
that.
did. They threw that money at them. They did.
No, the
But like I said, man,
corporation did that.
y'all gotta
The
look at what
fans
that money
can't do
is
that.
for. That money ain't
As
just for that
long as
song. That money is not
what
just
I'm
for that
saying
song.
is I'm saying is we adopted another person's culture when we said money was more important than talent. That ain't our culture. That was theirs. We just adopted it because they was doing it. So,
Man.
if that's what we're standing on, hey, keep standing on that. But I'm saying that's not us. We didn't create that. Oh, well, how much numbers is he doing? We didn't create that. How much money is it going to make? We didn't create that. That's all somebody else who came into this culture and said, "Hey, look, money is what matters here." And we just said, "Okay," cuz we don't really have a choice in the matter. We don't have the money to fight it. We don't have the structure in place to elevate those with talent. So we're at a disadvantage. Most of you artists, you're not gonna Liangelo Ball. When you step to do your contract, they are gonna force whatever their will on you. You don't have the money to say no,
Well, you know
sir.
what? We got a little audience here. We got a little audience here at According to Hip Hop. I recommend if you guys think anybody's dope, I'd like Servon's mandate and challenge the folks. Send us our way. Info at accordingtohiphop.com. You can email it to me, Ronald at accordingtohiphop.com. And we'll play the music. We'll interview the artists. We'll try to platform people we think is dope. I know I Am God. I mean, he's been
I
on the
mean,
show a couple of times. We've been
the
platforming.
whole structure is
Yeah.
available. Whatever you want to do, there's a whole structure ready for you. If you're a dope artist, there are a whole team that can be put in place for you that can accomplish whatever you want to accomplish. So
Yeah.
but when I'm standing on talent, don't come to me like, oh, bro, let me give you a bag. I don't want your bag. You know what I'm saying? Now everyone else is gonna want the money. I'm standing on something different. That's it.
You
No
know,
doubt.
just for me though, I understand music is a business. I'm not bumping Jello. You know what I'm saying? I've been hearing this guy everywhere. I go to a chick IG page, she got it on a picture. I see one of the homies, he probably have it on a video. Like you can't
Right.
avoid it, but if I don't like it, I don't like it. But then on top of that, I'm not gonna sit here and jump out the window and talk about how trash it is and give it more light too. If I don't like
Right.
it, I'm just like, okay, it's not for me and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? I don't waste my time talking about how trash something is because all it's doing is going to make somebody else want to go check it out and see, damn, you've been ranting and raving about this. Let me go see if this shit is really trash. And then that might turn into a listen. That person might really like it. Like, you see what that mean? Like, we talk stuff up to the point where it becomes popular. So I'm not going to waste my time talking about how trash something is when initially that shit wasn't made for me anyway. That's not the type of music I'm checking for in the first place. So I'm not going to jump out the window and talk about how trash it is, but I'm not going to knock the dude
Right.
for accepting this when that wasn't even his sole intention. You know what I'm saying? How could I be mad at a dude that's getting his money in a
Yeah.
way where he's not really compromising himself? He's not playing himself. Is like he's doing what he like to do, man. I mean, what y'all want me to?
No, you're right.
You know, I'm like, nah, man. It just is what it
I
is,
can't be
man.
mad at him.
I
I
can't
ain't
be
mad
mad
at
at
him.
Yeah, I'm mad at him. I
Right,
ain't
right,
mad at
Yeah,
him.
right. Well,
this is what we get. This is what we get, man. You have to blame that on the people that propelled it, that talked about it, that hyped it, that laughed his way up to that, and then the labels that looked at that and say, "Hey, we have something here. We can make some money off this." That's all to blame. But I'm not about to sit here and complain about it, bro. I'm not jumping out the window for that.
let me get to the super
Hey,
chat. Let me get to the super chat real quick, and then we'll get to our last and final topic of the night. We ain't gonna be on this last topic too long because I don't want the comments to go on fire. But anyway, Andre Miller with the super
Well,
chat
I
says,
do.
"Okay, well Leroy does. We may make it hot real
Rather
quick."
come.
Uh,
Yeah, go ahead.
Andre Miller with the super chat says, "It's not about money, it's about mind control. They purposely push meaningless music and block meaningful music. Kenny is the only current exception." Well, I would say J. Cole is outside the box. I would say there's some other people that got some meaningful music. Game has some meaningful music. Big Crit. You got
I
but they
see
not
what
on
he's
the
saying
radio,
though.
man.
Kendrick,
Half them
Kendrick's
dudes ain't on the radio.
but radio ain't nobody
Kendrick
really
is
listening to radio no more, man. On satellite radio, but I mean ain't nobody really listening to terrestrial radio like that, are they?
Not checking for new music. No, I still think there's power in radio though.
I mean,
Not
they're forced to.
musically.
If someone else turns on the radio station, you're forced to hear it because you didn't turn on the radio. Someone else did.
Because most of these kids are discovering music through IG or in TikTok, which TikTok may be gone, but tomorrow I don't think so. I think they may save it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if radio still has the same weight as it
No, it
used to
doesn't.
though.
They're late to the game. They're reacting to the internet just like the labels are.
Right. So I
The
don't know.
radio did wonders for Doja Cat.
Yeah, but Doja Cat actually has some talent. You know, I'm not gonna shit on her. She actually
Oh
can get
yeah.
busy. But you know, don't be surprised. You hop in your car, and you turn on the radio. You might hear this. You might hear tweakers on the radio. You know, they just react to the rest like how the internet does. I mean, I don't check for radio for new music or whatever. I think there's still some strength in radio as far as getting something to the masses. But as far as musically, like checking for new music and having to post to what's hot and what's not, radio is not that no more. No.
No doubt. No,
When I say radio, I really mean like even the club. Like to me, like the club is really like radio too. So when I speak radio, that's
Right.
really what I'm saying. Like it's not really just. 'Cause, yeah, you're right. Nobody can get in the car, listen to the radio. But I was really speaking on like outside shit, radio, like outside DJs, shit that DJs is spinning, and like pretty much the more popular or whatever is the music at the moment. You know what I'm saying? That's really what I'm really saying. But a lot of those guys that Ron was saying, I don't think they ever had a moment to be to. They never had no Liangelo moment. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's not. I understand what at the core of what Leroy is trying to say, but man, that argument is null and void. It's so far gone. You could use that argument against so many rappers that they came out within the last 20 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. Congratulations.
No
But
doubt.
Yeah.
it's more than just that one song that they got planned for that man. They got some real plans for him.
Right, right. And
That's
those
what's
other
up. You
labels
want
in the
better,
mix.
demand better, man.
Those other labels in the mix as well. But let's get to our last topic tonight, gentlemen. We were talking about this on the thread all day. Man, the inauguration of the 47th president, Donald Trump, is on Monday, and uh, hip hop artists have been in DC performing at the inauguration. You had Snoop Dogg, you had Soldier Boy, you had Rick Ross, Nelly. There's word that Kodak Black will be there. So this raised the question: is hip hop now supporting Donald Trump, and how do we feel about it as a community? Me personally, I don't see anything wrong with these artists being invited to these inaugural balls and these events and performing. I think it's an opportunity for them to get their music out. Um, I just think if you have an invitation, you should accept it. If that's the case, if you feel in your heart, if you decline it, then decline it. But these artists, Snoop, Nelly, Rick Ross, felt compelled to accept the invitation. And I don't see nothing wrong with it. I don't see this. I don't see it as anything that's an affront to the community. I just think it's an opportunity to participate
So it
in
was.
the
So
tradition.
you didn't have a problem. You didn't have a problem with Megan and Kamala, right? Megan was cool, right?
I mean, yeah,
We didn't. I no. I think the
You don't
problem
got a
with
problem
Megan
with
was.
Jay
I
supported
think the
Barack
problem with
Obama.
Megan was the twerking at the presidential event.
yeah, that was
I
my
think
problem. Yeah,
that's really what it was.
that was the
So
problem.
you,
I
I
thought
don't
it was
think. Yeah.
inappropriate to twerk
you don't got a problem with Jay supporting Obama, right?
no.
I never
If
had
you
a
Right?
problem with nobody supporting
Yeah,
anybody. I think it's
I don't have a
immature.
problem with nobody supporting anybody. I only have a problem when people point it back the other way and say they shouldn't do this. If you
In this case,
if it's good, let me
in
finish.
this case,
If it's good, you ask the question, let me answer. If you think it's good for those artists to support those politicians, I have no problem with artists supporting other politicians. It was keeping it on a buck. Fair is fair. That's how I feel
okay,
about it.
cool. So as a man, what I stand on, I'm gonna ride it all the way to the grave. As
All
a
right.
man, right? If you stand next to somebody, ride with them all the way. Don't come back later. If you're riding with Trump now, identify yourself. So who are all the artists you say you name? Now, if you're gonna tell me it's just business, I was just getting money. All right. But at the type of person I am, if you ride with that person, that's your man. So your cosign of him, don't retract it later when something happens. Stay stay with your cosign. So you're co-signing him, his words and his actions. So all you artists that are siding with that, you are also co-signing his words and actions. Stay with that. Don't come back later and say, "Oh, I'm about the culture. I'm about this. I'm about black folks. I'm about this and that." And I'm not saying that you're not, because
Hey,
many are going to
that
feel
ain't
like
cool,
you
man.
are.
Hey,
What I'm saying is,
you can't.
stay
Man,
over there with the Republicans. Do not come back later.
this is the same shit Barack Obama tried to do. You can't chastise black folks who want to do what the hell they want to do. Don't
Do
try
it.
to act like this is some. This ain't no cultural moment. The culture was split down the middle on this shit, one way or another. He won the presidency. People got to
Y'all
quit
cool with
playing
everything.
and quit
Yeah.
crying and quit complaining, man. Like it is what it
No,
is,
you're
man.
cool with it.
But
I'm just
Donald
saying,
Trump,
stay with Trump.
Donald Trump won
Stay
the
with Trump.
presidency. I'm cool. Yeah, I'm cool with it. I mean, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. It is what I was cool with whoever won. I've been dealing with it. I've been cool with it. It's been happening. So this ain't the end of the world that Donald Trump won the presidency again. But for two, man,
There's
it's dangerous that this is dangerous talk. Like really, like we can't keep trying to tell black men what the hell to do. We don't have to have no blind allegiance to the Democrats. Snoop and Nelly can decide. what they want to do. And
Yeah,
where they want to perform and
yeah.
which president they want to support. There's no this ain't no going against the black culture shit. Black people voted for Donald Trump too. We got to get out of that, man.
So
It's over,
support
man.
him.
Like we got
Support. So
so we don't. It's
identify
not even.
yourself
It's really not
and
about
support that
support.
man.
It's really not about
No,
support. It's just about accepting the fact.
you're
It's
not
just about
supporting him.
accepting. It's about accepting the fact that they lost. It's over.
You-
It's
You're
over. He
voting
the
for
president.
him, but you don't support him.
Well,
I'm
so,
supporting. I'm supporting the country. So in order for the country to prosper,
Through
he got
Trump.
to succeed. It is yes. He got and
So
I
you
don't want the
support
shit to.
Trump.
I don't want it. I don't want it to fail. You rooting for him to fail, or do you want him to
No,
succeed and
no.
do
I'm just
something?
saying. I'm just
Do you
saying. If
want? Do
I
you want him
support
to do something
someone,
for everybody?
if I
Do
support
you want him?
someone, I'm not gonna run back later and act like I wasn't supporting them. I'm gonna say, well, I co-signed that. So
I don't think about this the way you think
whatever
about it,
happens
man.
to black folks
This
during
shit
the
ain't personal to me. I don't know Donald Trump, so it's not personal to
whatever
me.
happens to black folks in the next few years,
Ain't
if I
nothing gonna
supported,
happen to
I
us.
co-signed what
Man,
happened.
stop spreading fear, man. We can't stop talking so
What's the
scary, man.
fear part? What was
What's
the
gonna
fear
happen
part?
to you? Ain't
What's the fear
not,
part?
you
You
talking about
want
what's gonna happen?
you want me
What's
to
gonna happen
explain?
to you? Stop spreading
You want me
fear,
to
man.
explain?
You the one that's spreading fear
So,
right now.
do
You
you want me to
talking all this
explain or
spooky
just
shit.
so I just you don't want me to say nothing?
No, I don't want you to tell me what you think gonna happen. Let's just let this shit play out. Is what I'm saying. Don't tell me
Well,
what you think
you
gonna
said for
happen.
the better of the country, right? So the better of the country is economic, it's healthcare, it's education,
Well, we got
it's
to see what they're gonna
it's
do, man.
it's not just it is integrity when we deal with say your job, right? In your job, you have to work with integrity because if you don't, you could be fired, laid off from your job because you're not carrying yourself with integrity. So you have to stand on it in order to keep your job because that's how you get your paycheck, that's how you help your family, that's how you help your community, and so forth, right? So that is important. So when I throw something out the window like integrity, there could be a fallout. Now, black folks, the man supports police in an aggressive way. The man supports fracking and drilling. Normally, that happens outside of black neighborhoods. The water gets contaminated, the air gets contaminated, the people there develop cancer. There are certain things that could happen in education. He's not really for the education of black history because he feels it's divisive. If he keeps telling the past of America, it breeds
Bro,
hate.
all of that
So
is fine and dandy, man. We not gonna go back to the debate. We already fought that. It already it already was fought, man,
I'm,
and they
don't
lost.
co-sign
It's
something
over. We don't
halfway.
have to. I
hey,
don't want to have
Don't
to run
co-sign
down everything
halfway.
bad that
Co-sign
was bad
all the
about the
way.
Democrats or bad about Kamala and why I didn't vote for her.
hey, so
That's
Ron,
not the
before you
point
go,
at this moment. If she
hey,
would have won, I wouldn't be. If she
hey, we lost Super. He gonna come back. So Ron,
We
before you
lost
go,
Super.
let me get to the super chats real quick. Andre Miller with
Yes.
the super chat said it's not about okay. Now we already got to that one. Um, he says they offered zero policy to us. They tried to get us with booty shaking and deleting our unborn. No other outreach. That was the problem. From Andre Miller, and then
Kamala had zero policy. Okay.
the next one was Laura Vachai says they're not supporting Trump. They're supporting the USS Corporation. That's a good observation. Now, before I let Servan go, Leroy Green last week said on our show, he's told me personally in the chat that we should be supporting black people our communities be on the forefront of AI and technology, right? So I looked up the event that Snoop and Rick Ross was invited to yesterday. That event was hosted. It was called the Crypto Ball, and it was organized by a man named David Oliver Sacks, who is the head. He's been appointed as the AI uh, and crypto leader of the U.S. And he founded Uber, or his company invested in Uber, SpaceX, and Airbnb. So we can't say on one hand that we need to have a seat at the table, and then when we get an invitation to be in these rooms with these people in Washington D.C., decline the invitation. So which one is it? So if
So Trump got a plan in place for hiring
no,
black people in
I'm
tech,
saying
right?
if the head of AI in the U.S. invites you to a particular function, wouldn't it behoove you to go if you want to be in this
Yeah,
industry?
if Trump has a policy or not even a policy, if he just said, "Well, I'm putting together a plan for black people to get jobs in tech," great, I'd love to hear it.
All right. So, Sir Ron, what's your thoughts on this, sir?
I don't even want to go to the Republicans versus Democrats and Kamala and Biden and all that shit. I'm gonna keep it hip hop. So I'm gonna say it here. Like I said it in text message. This has everything to do with what I'm saying about hip hop compromising integrity a long time ago. Uh, Hip hop, as artists and as consumers, have been contradictive. If people are not going to feel no way about this, they owe Chrisette Michelle a big apology because she doesn't have a career that prospered anymore due to the backlash she got for performing at his inauguration. Second of all, we're not going to act like we didn't see. Trump has proven over and over who he is. It's not like this is going to be his first time being president, you know. So for a person that has openly showed just a total lack of sensitivity for so many minority groups, um, kind of been synonymous in the leader in the face of white supremacy, and you guys are saying, oh well, he's the president, so let's lobby with him when we get something done. Now if there's truly lobbying and something getting done for our people, whatever, if that's what you have to do to get that, cool. But if you're just hopping on there to sing and dance and tap dance for some money, then you're not only selling yourself out, but you're selling the culture out, because some of these people that are performing are the same people that went on the same public platforms and said things like fuck Donald Trump and criticized him. So what is the 180 turn now? Was it the money, or do you see something that could really improve things for you, your people, or something? Like, what is the benefit from you getting up here and doing that? So I am questioning integrity and I am calling out contradictions, because I see that people tend to support based on who they like the most. It's kind of hard to want to come down and criticize those people we propelled so hard. You don't want to talk like that about Snoop, but it's easy to beat down on the Chrisette Michelle. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we have to keep that same energy for this. If there's something that comes out from this, if they're really lobbying for something that's beneficial, then cool. That's what you're supposed to do. Because whether or not, we can't change what those election results are. So while he's in there, that's what we have to deal with. And if people want to get stuff done, you have to meet them at the table. You have to have those conversations. But I don't
But
look at it
right,
being that. I just look at it as a bunch of niggas wanting to go get them a check.
yeah,
But
yeah, get the money,
I
yeah.
I
hope that
think
the
But
I
but
think
motherfuckers
but
y'all
but
fail to
realize.
Snoop,
realize.
just
I think
real
y'all.
quick point though. The
Go
the
ahead,
the
Leroy.
reason why just real quick point. The reason why you can't act crazy at your job is because, well, let's say you don't act crazy. Let's say you do everything right, and the manager comes and says you're fired, and you're like, I'm fired. Well, there is rules in place so you don't get fired. What policy created those rules? So policy is important, is what I'm saying. So we can go, you can get back to your point, super, but I'm just saying you better be
I'm just
careful.
amazed.
You know?
I'm amazed. I'm amazed after this whole election, out of all these talks, that y'all don't realize why Donald Trump won. I'm really amazed. Like y'all
I know
really like.
exactly why
No, I
he
know
I,
why. I know why.
I don't think y'all really get it, man, because y'all still leaning
Yeah,
and hanging on to this racism
he's a
shit and
tough
all
guy.
that. People don't
because
the
we can't
perception
ignore
of
it.
Trump.
What do you
The
mean? That's
perception
like,
of
that
Trump.
sounds like what white folks
Listen to
tell
me
us.
though. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm
Get
saying
over
first.
it. No, we're not going to get over it.
The perception of Trump has changed, is what I'm saying. A lot of
No,
people
it
don't
hasn't.
look at him as racist like the way that y'all really said. So that perception and the way that y'all holding on
Okay.
to that, a lot of people don't look at him the way that y'all trying to say.
A lot of
So it's
people are
not like
misinformed as
it's.
well. A lot of
Go
people are
ahead. What
ignorant
you
I,
say?
too.
I hear you.
I
Yeah.
think we really, really underestimate the amount of ignorance that's out here and the misinformation that people sucked in and regurgitated as well.
Bro, I think that was
Trump is
happening
a
on
tough
both
guy.
sides.
Trump is a tough guy,
Oh
right?
yeah,
And
So
I
we
do agree.
respect the tough
I think
guy.
it did happen on both sides. I agree.
I just think y'all need to realize they lost the culture war. I don't think this had nothing to do with white supremacy. This ain't had
So
nothing to do with. Listen, man, this
so
had
who
nothing to
won?
do with this had nothing to do with that. Donald Trump
Who
won
won?
because more people voted
So
for him.
so
So
Trump is
it's
representing.
not you can't, we can't sit back and just say everybody
Super,
that voted for Donald
super.
Trump, because I voted for him. I'm just gonna keep it 100. I
No,
voted for him.
That's cool.
And
Super.
we had this conversation, and I explained my reasons why. And that's what I'm
If
saying. Like, y'all got to accept the reasons why
Trump is
people
representing my
people
culture,
support him.
Oh,
Y'all have to
people,
Trump
y'all
won
have
the
to
culture
realize
war.
that, man. Y'all just got to accept it.
Super,
you can
Accept
have
what
super,
people
people
saying.
that
super.
support you.
Trump, you
People
said
can,
Trump won the culture war. That means somebody lost, right? So if somebody lost and somebody won, either Trump represents my culture or he does not. If he doesn't, then I lost, is what you're saying, right? So I should get
Man,
over
no,
it.
none of them represent our
No, I
culture.
lost.
None of them.
No, I
So
lost.
we
My
had two
culture lost.
choices.
that's
We
true.
we
My
had
culture
we had
lost.
we no the culture of transgenders and that liberal
I'm
agenda
not
lost.
transgender.
It's big. That's
I'm
what I'm
not
saying. I'm
transgender.
not trying to go down that, but listen. It's bigger than what y'all trying to make it. This has
Super.
nothing to do with
Somebody
the
won
racism, man.
and somebody
This has
lost.
nothing to
No,
do with that. And
no,
y'all gotta understand
no,
that.
no,
That's
no, no,
if y'all
no.
don't understand this, man, the Democrats
Super,
is gonna
super,
lose
super.
again,
See,
man.
and this is why,
Y'all
Culture,
gotta
this
learn
is
this
why I said
lesson,
this is
bro.
not a
super,
Democrat or
super.
Y'all
Republican.
have to
Our
learn that.
culture
No,
is showing respect to the losing side. That's our culture. Our culture is we take the losing side and we build them up. That is actually our culture. We take someone who is on the losing end and we accept them as a human being and respect their human rights, respect their right to speak. We get out their way if they want to go. We don't hate on them. We just mind our business. That's actually our culture. That's what. So if that's his culture, if his culture is about, okay, I respect the people who disagree with me. I respect the people that are different from me. I accept the people that I don't agree with. If that's his culture, I support it.
let me say
If
something real
his
quick.
culture is, I have a problem with people that disagree with me, well, sir, that's not my culture.
Let me say something real quick, guys. I think, and so I just want to kind of piggyback, or not piggyback, but kind of challenge something you said. I think, and also Leroy, I think we got to get away from saying that the only reason why Donald Trump one is because of ignorance, because people are misinformation,
Exactly.
also
Well, he
yeah,
said that.
there's a
racism.
role that played in that, but that's not
Racism.
the major role.
I'm saying if he went from 9% of the black vote to 18 to 19%, and if you go to in the videos that I share with y'all, you go, not all these people are subject to misinformation from Russian bots. Not all these people are racist. Not all these there's some reasons why he won. So I think we have to look into
Yeah.
the root cause of why he
That
won.
alone, right there, was misinformation. We didn't have the majority of black percentage vote for Trump this
No, I didn't say
election.
No.
no, I didn't say that. I said it went up. It went up like 9 to 10 percentage points from the last from 2016 or 2020 to 2024. He grew in Hispanics. He grew in blacks. He grew actually
His
and
campaign
even
says
in the
we target,
LGBTQ community. Support from Trump rose from the
his people
all
say
these
we
people. I mean,
target the
let me
uneducated.
finish. All these communities, LGBTQ, Black, Hispanics, Asians, all these communities that show us a rise in voting for him. They're all just misinformed. They're all racist. They're all ignorant. We got to get away from that. We got to
No,
unpack
but that
this.
all right, I'll let you rock.
We got
So
to
then we
unpack
are
this.
the
The
ignorant
reason
ones.
why a percentage of all these communities voted for him at a higher rate. Why is that?
So we're the ignorant ones. If he's the
I didn't
smart
say
one,
that. I didn't call
I must be
anybody.
the
I didn't
ignorant
call
one.
anybody ignorant. I'm saying we need to unpack
Someone
the
is the
reason.
ignorant one.
I'm not calling anybody ignorant. What I'm saying is we need to investigate why in all of these communities that I named that he increased his percentage. Why is that? It's not because of misinformation. It's not
It's
because of
because they're
racism.
smarter.
I didn't say that.
It's not because they just dumb either, Leroy.
No, well, I'm gonna say this. I'm not gonna
His
say that's the
campaign
only
says
reason.
we target the uneducated.
There's a big deal. There's a mixed pot of what went into this. So let's keep it a buck. A lot of this race was one just simply because we underestimate how many people are actually sexist. There was a lot of sexism going on when it came to this.
Not that's not it's
No,
not
it
true,
is
man.
true. It is true,
Bro, that's
bro.
not true, man.
True.
Y'all using too
It
many.
is
That's not
true.
true.
It's
Y'all will
true.
not. It's
I've
not
seen
true, man.
more people. I've seen more people say disrespectful stuff towards a woman running for president than a guy that was in office for 4 years who did what he did and said disrespectful things about tons of groups, including blacks, including veterans, including disabled people, including there's a slum of people who he offended on TV live. There's a slew of things that he did, but nobody's talking about him the way that they say disparaging things about Kamala. There's no reason if we're talking politics and we're keeping it politics. Why is she a bitch? Why is she this? Why is she that? There's a major thing of sexism that played a role in this. I don't hear those same things going in for Trump. But aside
Trump
this, I
and
don't even
Trump,
want to talk politics.
they call Trump. They've been calling Trump Hitler.
Let's take it for what it is,
I
bro.
don't think
There's
it's
a
Hitler,
lot of
but I
hate
think
that he's spewed, and me as a black man, I can't cape for that because he was in there for 4 years. What did he do for us?
They ain't never did nothing for us. This is the whole point. This is
Exactly.
why I
So
keep saying that y'all just gotta understand, man. Black people. I'm just gonna explain for myself, man. I got tired of voting for the Democrats over and
yeah,
over and over again for no reason. So for me to take this one election and decide to go vote for the other dude this one time to show the Democrats that I'm unhappy with them not doing shit for me after I've been voting for them for 30 years.
right.
There's nothing wrong with me. Don't look at me as like something like I'm stabbing the black hip hop culture in the back or I'm stabbing black folks in the back. They ain't did shit for us. For us to
Well,
have this type of
you're not
blind allegiance,
performing.
loyalty, man.
exactly.
They
So
have not
But
done nothing
yeah,
for us, bro.
let me get to the point.
Savon and
Super,
Leroy.
there are
Savon and Leroy.
policies involved with the
There's
Democrats.
there's a lot
There
of
is
politicians that
policy
did
there.
shit for us. So to the point that I was saying, there's a lot of politicians that did shit for us. So why do they deserve our support? You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate that the rappers are going up there and they're supporting this stuff without lobbying for something that's going to be in the benefit of whatever it is that's their interest besides the money.
How
You know
do
what
we
I'm
know they're
saying?
not
If you're
though,
gonna stand
Savon?
next to this, if you're gonna vote for this, make sure that there's something that's coming out of this for being voted for you on. What
Bro.
when you vote for this guy, what do you have hope that he's
Real
gonna do
quick,
for you?
real quick, real
Leroy,
quick.
go
If
ahead.
I discriminate against you, Super, I could be held liable. And if I discriminate against you in a corporate setting or a business or whatever, I could be held liable and I could lose a lot. Well, there is policy involved in that that's specific to you racially. So what I'm saying is actions do matter in policy. And now that's one point. My second point is if your child started to act and speak like Donald Trump, you would tell your child. Now, Donald Trump is an adult, so obviously there's a separation. But if your child was acting like that, you would tell your child, hey, slow your roll. You're not going to be able to talk like that. You're not going to be able to act like that and go outside this house. So, what I'm saying is, integrity does matter, speech does matter, caring about people does matter. And I'm not saying you got to be Mother Teresa. That's not what I'm saying. But you have to have some level of humanity. That's all, you know.
Let me
But
get the
policy matters.
let
And
me
if
get to
the
the
and if we're happy that we're getting nothing, you
let me
know
get
what
to
I
the
mean?
super chats real quick, and I want to say I'm gonna ask Savon a question real quick, and I'm gonna ask Leroy this question too. Andre Miller with the super chat says hate crime bill, LGBT policies supporting illegals, women's rights. We give them 90%, and they say no to us about everything. To hell with the Democrats, and so they do for us like they do for others. Also, Laura Chai says um, Democrats. Dawson playing. Okay, I can't read it.
Cosplay.
Cosplaying victim mentality. Let me say this, y'all. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. Y'all been to a lot of parties, right? Y'all been to a lot of events as artists, as DJs. You mean to tell me that at this party where the head of the AI and the head of crypto is at, there are not other people there that are on boards? So you think no? You mean to tell me I'm supposed to believe that no business was discussed? So they just went up there and started tap dancing and got a check. No business, no information was exchanged, no contact was exchanged, no networking was done. We're supposed to believe that these men that in their 50s or in their late 40s went up to DC to perform, and there was no kind of connections made with either VC funds
Yeah,
or
yeah,
invest. So
yeah,
so so I'm supposed to
yeah.
assume that these guys do that. So
What
that's
I'm
how
what I'm
little
what I'm telling you
that's
is,
how little you think of our people to think they would just go up there and sing and
yeah,
dance without being in DC
yeah.
over the weekend and networking with
Mhm.
some folks to get stuff done.
Or
Okay.
or
The
hey
conversation
Ryan,
has
or how about this
years.
wild possibility?
The
How
conversation
about
has
this?
hold on, Ron. That conversation's been happening for 20 years.
I'm
So
talking
I'm
about
not
this
blaming our
weekend.
people. That conversation that you just discussed in tech has been happening. I'm from Silicon Valley. It's been happening for 20 years. Every time it comes up to the point of hiring our youth or hiring our people, it's struck down by the side that we're talking about because the conversation has been happening. So I'm just letting you know that conversation is not new.
So I can answer that question for you, and I can answer the first answer I'm gonna give you is a question. Donald Trump was the only liaison between them having a conversation with those guys. You're Snoop. You've been everywhere. You needed Trump to have those conversations and be at that table.
What if he just voted for Trump? Like, what if he actually voted for him?
And that says you're a
That's
supporter,
I'm
right?
saying. Like, y'all act like
Did
y'all
he
just
He
find
have a
this so hard to believe
He
that
got he
No,
that
got
it's
he
not
somebody
hard to
actually
believe.
like.
That shit is not hard to believe.
he pardoned
It's
Harry.
not
He
hard to
pardoned
believe at
Harry
all.
O. He
But
pardoned
But he
I'm
Harry
was
O.
answering
saying
Ron's
F
question.
Donald Trump all
I'm
like
answering
the
Ron's
fucking
question.
years. He kept saying F Donald Trump, F Donald Trump, and everybody
Hey,
who like him.
and
F.
so was
He
I.
kept
I
saying
was
that.
saying the same thing. I was saying the same thing until I went through the shit that I went through with Biden. Yeah, I was saying
So
the
if
same
you
thing.
if
But
you
hold on,
keep
hold on,
So
saying
hold on,
F
hold on,
sometimes,
somebody,
time out. So you saying that the stuff with Biden made you change your tune on something that didn't change about a person that you said those comments about? Nothing changed
I
on his
didn't
side.
care. Listen,
Whatever you
I never
criticized
cared
him
about.
about, that didn't
I
change,
don't care
bro.
about the things that you care about with Donald Trump. I'm not
But you
sensitive
did
about.
enough because you said fuck him. That's
I'm not
the
claiming
question.
that he a racist. I haven't been offended by nothing that he really
okay,
said about nothing.
What
I
made
don't
you?
think that he a
What
racist
initially
like the
made
way
you
you
say
do.
fuck him? What
You
what
know what I'm
let me
saying?
say this
I'm
to
initially?
not
you.
tripping about a lot of the stuff that he said.
I understand, but what initially made you say fuck him?
I told you they policies.
Okay, so what
That
changed?
super chat. Hey Ron, pull up that super chat where he broke it all down. That's
But what
exactly
has
why.
changed?
That
That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
What about his
I
tune has
just told you.
changed? Bro?
This is what Biden
no,
did.
No, you're
policy.
talking about
Read
the
it
other
quickly. I
side.
can't
I'm
read.
asking you only about this person. You're talking about the other side. I'm asking you. If you said fuck him and
It's
you
right
change your
there.
tune now, what has
Because I had
changed?
to. Because I had to choose. I had to choose. I had to choose
So,
between
so,
them.
so
I
you
had
went
to
with the
choose.
guy that
I
you
had to
said
choose between.
reasons. Nothing has changed.
Say
So
it again.
instead of just bowing out and not voting for nobody, you changed to something that you were despising. Nothing has
Oh
changed.
yeah, I despise what the Democrats was doing. I was disgusted by what they was doing. So, and
So
I
much
had to
that
show
you
them.
don't. So much that
I
you want
personally I
something that
wanted
you
to show them my disgust by going to vote for Donald Trump. I did. I wanted to show them I was disgusted by what they did, and I
does that put,
purposely went to vote for Donald Trump
who
just to
does that
show
That
them
hurt?
is cool.
how unhappy I
Your
was by
notion
the
is
Who does
moves
that
that
they've been
hurt
making.
though?
your
Who does
notion
that
is
hurt?
that
Huh?
Democrats have never
Well,
done anything in
we'll see.
policy that
Hey,
has
well,
positive effects on
how
black people.
this is what
Your
it
your
does.
your
This is
your
what it
notion
Hey,
does,
one
man.
at a
is
time.
This
Let's
is the
let's
reason
saying
let's
why.
nothing
Th-
Democrats have ever done, nothing Democrats have ever done have been positive for black people in policy. That's what you're saying.
No, that's not what he's
I
saying.
take issue with that.
That's
I
not what
take
he's
issue
saying.
with that because I take okay, that's not what you're saying. But I take issue with what you're saying because in democratic policy, there is race specific policy that is a protection against abuse, a protection against fraud, protection against an abuse
Bro,
of your privilege.
all that protection you talking about going to the LGBT and transgender people.
I'm not
That's where that
concerned
protection is
with
going.
I'm not
They've
concerned
been
with
using your black
what they
vote.
do.
They've been using your black vote to give them more protection, to
I'm
pass
not
Easy,
Asian hate
concerned
crime bills,
with,
and that's fine. But he
but
has never
none of us
to
are
not
in
even
that group. None of
they
us are
couldn't
in
even
that
get
group.
the George Floyd bill passed, bro. They couldn't even do one thing that they promised y'all the last election.
You're very
And y'all
upset.
bro.
sitting back
You're
Hey,
acting
very
like
one,
upset.
y'all so happy and satisfied.
one at a time.
Yo, but
Servan,
I'm not
Servan,
happy
go
and
ahead.
sad. I want to
let
go
me
against
tell
the
you what,
whole
though.
system, but I know we'll never go there because y'all don't want that type of smoke. Not
Servan, go ahead.
y'all, not
Servan,
you
go ahead.
personally.
That just leads me to a question, bro. We're talking about what the other side didn't do or their lack of. What did that side do for you? Is anybody on this motherfucker rich? Is anybody on this
I
motherfucker
just told
wealthy?
you why. It's a power
No,
play for me.
is anybody on this motherfucker wealthy? Right? I'm asking that question.
Well,
Anybody here wealthy?
well, not
I
wealthy,
choose not to disclose that,
not
Servan.
wealthy,
So,
I'm
so,
just joking.
there
so,
there
but,
there
but
is
I'm
policy
getting to a point
that
here.
my family was protected by, which allowed them to have better opportunities in life. Yes, there was policy connected to that. Yes.
So none of us on this motherfucker is wealthy, and it's proven that most things that he done has benefit the wealthy or people that's in that circle within him, right? We could talk about the lack of what was done on the other side, but what makes me wonder is, like Leroy's saying, when you vote for somebody that gains their support. So what did he do that gains your support? None other than you are just despising the other side. When you support something, that means that you're for something.
I
What
just
has he
told you what it was.
so what was it that you're for? What
I
has he
don't
done for
support
you? What
nothing.
has he done for your
No, he
people?
I
said
don't
what it was.
support. I don't. I listen. I just told you. I don't support nothing. I'm just unhappy
You voted
with.
for it. That's
I
garnering support.
voted for him. Listen, I just told you, I
I
voted for
got you.
him because I'm unhappy
I
with the
got you.
Democrats. I've been a lifelong Democrat. I'm unhappy that they ain't never did nothing for my mama, for
I'll
you,
accept that.
for me,
I'll
all our
accept that.
whole lives. They
I'll
haven't
You know
done
accept
what?
that.
You
anything
know what
for
happens
us.
for me? You know what happens for me when I'm not
I'll
pleased with
accept that.
any side, or if I'm not challenging that, or if I don't think that either side is going to do anything for me or anything remotely for my people, whatever. I don't vote for either side. You're not going to get me to vote for a side I despise
No.
just because
See,
I
I
despise
wanted
one of
them.
my people.
I wanted the black numbers. I wanted the black numbers to look like they going over to Trump. So
For
now,
what?
hopefully,
No,
this
that's just
next election, this is the reason why. So hopefully, now this next election, the Democrats will come with some actual tangible things to come for the black community with. They'll actually come and actually want and respect our vote and not just expect it. They will actually have to earn our vote. If we keep on giving it to them blindly without no results, what you think they're gonna do? We're gonna keep having these failing schools. The same shit gonna keep happening over and over
That's
again.
true.
So,
That's true.
so
But
for me, it
we
was
have to
more about
read the
showing
policy
my
too.
unhappiness because I've been supportive. I've been down. I've been the day one Democrat. We've been
Yeah,
voting for them straight up and down.
I hear you,
So
Super.
I've been loyal to them. They ain't been loyal to me. So I'm showing them, you know what? I'm voting for them just to show y'all how unhappy I am with you.
Leroy.
that doesn't
Go
help
I
ahead.
hear
you
that
Let
because
Leroy, let
argument. I
Leroy
hear
go
that,
for a
identity is
but
second.
not
Let
it's
Leroy
important.
go for a second. Go ahead, Leroy.
well, as far as we can go back and forth with the politics things forever. I do think it's important for us. We can't just claim someone has no policy because that's kind of false. And next time someone's running for president, actually look because they may actually have policy. If you're just saying no, they don't have anything, you might be reaching. Second though, if an artist, if this president, now I know people are going to say, well, that's not fair because you're putting it on this guy and you didn't put it on all the other guys. Well, this guy has been president before. I think you could see if you were happy with that. Now, if you were cool, if you like the guy, cool. I'm not tripping. But if you support the man, then you gotta ride with the man. So the artist going over there, you're the way I'm looking at you. Hate to say it, Snoop, because Snoop, you're the hero of the West. I'm looking at you like you're Donald Trump now. I'm looking at Nelly like you're Donald Trump. Whatever he does, you must agree with his mentality
No, I don't agree with
because
it. You
you
can't.
supported it.
So you can't agree with no man 100%. You some things
I can
somebody's
I
going
can
to
I can not a
no
hundred percent,
no.
but I'll give it 75. I'll give it
Again
75.
again. So people I can't. I'm not going to articulate
Whatever
reasons.
happens or
I
doesn't
disagree with
happen,
that because if
you
you're gonna use this
co-sign.
logic, then that's like me saying that you okay with kids getting sex changes at birth. You okay with little girls going in the bathroom with grown ass men. You okay with you know what I mean? Like that's like me saying that to you then.
If
Like you
if
don't have to
that's what
agree with
people want to think,
everything, bro.
if that's what people want to think, then they can
That's
think
not what
that.
they think.
I
That's what
mean,
they said. It's not it's not a
Honestly,
thought.
it'll
If you
also
think that I'm okay with that, then Phil,
No,
then you
I'm
can.
just saying no. I'm just saying that you saying that is like me saying that to you. Is
I
what
hear
I'm
you,
saying. You
but
okay? You okay with abortion? You okay with abortions? Late term abortions? You okay? Like you, if you gonna wear the bag, and we should have, you got to wear everything that the Indian lady was gonna do. You got to wear it
I got
all
your
because you
point.
support
I
it.
got your point. I got your point. But I think that there is a priority involved in American politics, and some priorities are more important than others. So the main important ones like economics, healthcare, education, these are things that matter to me. Now, if you were performing super, if Trump called you up and you're standing next to Trump and you're doing all this stuff to Trump, well then I'm going to assume that you agree with his priority policy. Not there's priority there. So whatever his top 3 things are, I assume you agree. That's all
I
I'm
So
can't
so
even
saying.
so
say
so Le-
that.
so Le- so
I
Le-
can't even fully agree to that. I'm just gonna be honest. Just because you
Okay.
perform, I don't think that's saying that you're agreeing with everything. Just like I don't think when you vote for somebody, that doesn't mean you agree with all of their policies. Maybe there's some that stand out to you that you ride with and that sticks out to you and that you think will be a benefit of you. So I don't think them performing is saying that he agrees with everything these guys are doing, but I think it sends a message that in some way you are supporting in a way. And if that wasn't the case, then Chrisette Michelle wouldn't have been buried for this shit. So like I said, we have to keep the same energy. So when these guys are doing this, if something is coming about it, if they're lobbying, if they're sitting down and having those conversations about the betterment of the culture, the betterment of our people, anything that was going to benefit off, then fine, bro. That's cool. But if you're going up there and you're just performing to get that money, hey, it's all entertainment, it's money, then we're calling it for what it is, face value. We have a right to have our opinions how we have our opinions. I'm not caping for either side because at the end of the day, either side doesn't pay my damn bills, bro. When I work, I still got to get on there and do what I got to do. There's still day-to-day stuff that I have to go through that they don't give a fuck about. So I'm not going to cape for either side. But what I know is what somebody has blatantly showed us over and over again, and me drawing that line in the sand, I can't stand that to that. I can't support that. I can't get down with that.
The spite argument that Andre Miller's making the spite argument that Super just made. Now, if you think spiting the Democrats was a good choice, well then cool. But that was your choice to think that weaponizing spite would work in our best interest. So we'll see if it does.
My thing is, this is just my biggest thing.
I voted for what I was against.
When you really listen to this out loud, you're saying that I voted for Trump because I dislike Democrats. That doesn't sound logical at all. What you should be voting for is in your best interest. Not you, your family, whatever, what is in your best interest. I'm not voting for one because I don't like the other. I'm voting for you because I feel like there's going to be things that you can do that will more so benefit us than what the other people would do. There was no benefit in you doing this, none other than you just saying you don't like the other side.
To keep it 100.
When I bring in my argument, I don't talk about Republicans. I didn't talk about Democrats. I talk solely about what this guy has showed us because that was the topic at hand. Hip hop supporting him, and I know what he has done. I know what he has shown over and over again. And I was taught when people show you who they are, you believe them, right? So with this being said, if I see rappers supporting this or performing on this, if like I said, if you're lobbying, if something comes for this that is betterment of that, then that's cool. But if you're going on there and just getting your dollar, then we're going to call that for what it is, just like we called it for what we was with Chrisette Michelle. We cannot be contradictive in this. We cannot be people that sit here and just move the goalposts for whoever we like, man. We got to call a spade a spade. He hasn't done anything for me. He hasn't shown he's going to do anything for me. A long list of politicians haven't done anything for me. But what I know is as a man, especially as a black man, I'm not going to cape for him either. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to cape for either side because at the end of the day, we shouldn't be showing our vote for anything that doesn't represent our best interests at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not going to be me, bro. I can't stand by that. I can't jack that, bro. But when it comes down to this, the main subject at hand, and we're talking hip hop, this is why I say the integrity went out the window a long time ago. The contradictions fly and people move the goalposts for people who they like. It's just simple as that. And at the end of the day, we need to see when it's all said and done, you guys going to see what side of history you stand on. And that's just what it is. The fact that we're black men on here debating each side for this about politics shows that there's a bigger problem than what it is.
It shows that it's a shift in the culture. It's a shift.
Either side, bro. We shouldn't. You know?
Man, everybody don't look at that's what I'm trying to say. Everybody's view of Trump, like black people don't got one way of looking at Trump. You got one side of black people that look at Trump and run with whatever they hear on TV or think he a racist from some quotes, some shit, or because he called some shit, some places, some shithole countries. But before this, man, y'all gotta look, man. Trump been part of hip hop culture. Trump been down. Snoop and Trump been friends since Snoop and Trump been friends since the 90s.
He wasn't.
You know what I'm saying? So like, it's not
part of the culture. He's a vulture.
No, Snoop, man.
He was on Method Man's album Judgment Day. He was on Method Man's album.
No, he's not culture.
No. The hip hop culture did celebrate him as being synonymous with wealth. There's rap lyrics
because we suckers for money.
We've seen, but we cannot say that hip hop wasn't for him at one time because they were.
He ain't culture. He ain't culture. Donald Trump is not culture,
bro. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the culture.
What we celebrated was getting money.
Exactly.
He was getting money. We celebrate getting money. We did not say I wanna look like, dress like, be like. We did not say I want to be like, dress like, talk like, look like, live. We did not say that about Trump. We said we
Man, there was
respect
plenty
his
of people calling
beliefs.
themselves the Black
It's
Donald Trump.
We
sensationalizing wealth,
respect he
bro.
getting money.
Hip hop did
So I'm just saying,
sensationalize wealth.
those of you in hip hop who stand with Trump that hard, stay over there.
But there's a point in what Super said. There are times where hip hop did hold them to that, and they did idolize and they sensationalize the wealth. But that's before we seen all this stuff transpire, and before we
What did he
have.
do? Like I still want to know what he even did. Like what y'all talking about, man?
If you are blind to what he did,
What
bro,
he does.
that's bigger of the
What you
problem.
mean blind? This ain't about being blind. I just want to know
It
what I was
is
supposed
being
to be
blind,
offended
bro.
by.
He's been right on.
What I missed? I want to know what I missed. I don't know what I missed. Really. I don't know what I missed.
If you can't see any of these things that he done wrong, then you're a part of the problem, bro.
Man, y'all part of the problem for not realizing why they lost.
Oh, I know exactly.
I
why.
realized
They
because they want
lost.
to spite.
Hey, Leroy Savant. Leroy Savant, let me say this. I haven't said something in a while. Could it be that maybe people thought that having open borders was a bad idea? Have you ever considered that maybe?
Both sides politicize the border patrol. You can't blame one for another. Both sides politicize it and made it
it was executive orders that made the immigration problem at record numbers. It was executive action taken by one person.
Who is hiring them? Is it me hiring them?
You're not answering the question.
I said, who am I the one that's hiring them?
And if you go to Chicago, if you go to New York, and you ask these communities what's the problems that they're facing in these neighborhoods. Like I've been to these neighborhoods, they'll tell you that the illegal immigration that happened, the surge of illegal immigration that happened between a particular time period, has been ravaging their communities. Maybe don't you ever consider that maybe those people are tired of it and they wanted to make a different choice? Is that not a remote possibility?
So the choice is Donald Trump is going to fix that. You're saying Donald Trump nationwide, he is going to fix that problem, and we won't have that problem anymore.
I don't know if the problem could be fixed, but he's not going to take executive.
You don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if a problem that problem.
So you vote on what you don't know.
See, you're not allowing
My
me to
thing
finish.
is, both sides handled it poorly. Right? But he was
that's not.
What did he do?
We can't say that, bro. Listen.
Both sides did handle it poorly.
The Democrats,
what did he do?
Bro, the Democrats actually was encouraging them to come. No, they encouraged them to come.
No, that's false.
They actually yes they did, bro. They encouraged them to come. They encouraged them to come, and they was making sanctuary cities, man. They encouraged them to come. And then after
it is against the law, and you will be
after they passed legislation to encourage them to come, the shit backfired, and now they want to act like they wanted to close that loophole. But they the ones they caused the problem.
That it is against the law to break the laws of America. Democrats have said that.
What I'm saying is, we could talk about what side didn't do, what other side didn't do, but what we do know is this guy was in office. What did he do? What did he do?
When he was in office, I made way more money than I'm making over these last 4 years.
What did he do?
Way more money.
No,
way more money.
Yes.
He took care of the economy good enough.
You guys were talking about the border stuff, right?
So it's just about the money.
What did he do, bro? He had the most power that any other president has had. He had the power to make a change for that. What did he do?
I'm
asking you to answer your question. He had illegal immigration at record lows. That's what he did.
No, he treated the people like animals and had them down. That's what he did.
So he deserves an award. He had the immigration at record lows, so we should support him. All right. I'm just saying what we look at issues first. We pick and choose what issue to look at instead of looking at them all. So that's already faulty. Second of all, some problems have been here since the 1960s, the early 1960s. Now, what you're saying is he's going to fix that. Okay.
Record highs, record lows. Record highs, record lows.
All that record highs and record lows.
I'll send it to you, Savant. It's factual. Record highs, record lows.
That's not due to him, bro. He didn't
catch every raindrop outside.
Bro.
Great. I'd like to see him do it. If he can catch
we gave y'all plenty reasons on why we actually. Well, I gave y'all plenty of reasons on why I actually did vote for him. I gave y'all plenty of reasons. Y'all
Yeah,
have not given me
you gave
one
the reasons
reason.
off the
Y'all,
comments.
y'all, y'all haven't given me. Y'all haven't given me one reason why I should have been voting for the Democrats, though.
I've given
Y'all
you a
ain't gave
reason.
me one.
I'm not here
I've
to
given you
convince
a
you of
reason.
either or. I just simply
I've given you
asked
a reason.
you, what
I'm
did you
just saying.
see
I
from
told
him
y'all.
that
I
made
told
you?
y'all what I was against. Y'all tell me what y'all
You're
for.
telling me what you're against, but you're not telling me what you're
What I'm
for. What
for.
do you stand for, brother?
What I'm for.
I voted for what I was against. You tell me what I'm missing
You
out
tell
on.
me,
What?
you tell me
What?
what you're
Tell
against.
me,
What are you for, brother?
What are you
That's what I'm
for?
asking. What do you stand for?
bro. They don't have nothing for me. Neither
No, so
one.
that's where you're wrong. That's
So
where
I
you're
couldn't
wrong.
vote for the. I couldn't. If I was voting for anything that I was
Democrats are
for, I
not
was getting
just
nothing. Bro, as
Democrats
black
are
people,
not
what have we
only
ever
making
been getting?
policy.
Y'all keep saying that. What
Nobody's
these
answering
Democrats
my
are
question.
results?
not
These,
Nobody's
only
answering my
one
question.
thing. You're saying Democrat
bro.
policy is only one issue. It's not one issue. There are multiple issues.
That's just my last question I just have for you, bro. We could talk about what other side didn't do. The side that you are supporting, that you garnered your vote for, I want to know, what is it that they did for you that want to support. You're talking
He
about what
said
the
he
other
made more
side.
money.
What did you what do you stand on? What aligns with
I,
you
I, I, I,
on that?
I agree. I agree. Like you say, I made more money under Trump, so that was one good reason. I'm against
Mhm.
all this transgender bullshit that they got going on. I'm against all them
None
late
of us are
term abortions.
transgender.
I can run this off. I
We
just
don't
want
have
to know
none of us
why I
are
should
having
have
an
been
abortion.
why I should have been voting for the Democrats other than they racist. Other than they
Well,
racist. Other than they racist, give me a reason why I should have stayed down 10 toes with the Democrat.
Bro, I'm not here
because
to give you
because policy wise, it's not just about transgenders. It's
I'm
not. They
I'm not
don't only think about transgenders. No, they actually have policy that has consideration for
Where the
people,
policies
for
been
black
at?
people.
Where they at? Where they at?
Okay,
Where they at?
okay. So again,
Hey, hey,
when you are at your job, right, and you look at it, there's a thing called a code of ethics. That code of ethics that's there was policy driven by the Democratic Party.
Bro, I own
So
my
that
truck.
is
I ain't got no code of
oh
ethics. I ain't got no HR.
yeah,
But I'm
you
just
I
saying,
see.
man.
And
Y'all
what
got
we're
to give
doing
me some
now,
reasons.
we're saying that ethics
Tell
don't
me why I
matter.
messed
We're
up so
saying
bad. Y'all got to
morality
give
does
me.
not
That's
Tell me
not my
why
matter.
I
job.
messed up
We're
so bad.
saying
Other
as
than he
long as
racist.
you get
That's
money,
not my job
we're
to
saying
convince
as
you who to vote
long as
for.
you
I
get
just simply
money,
asked you a
everything
question
is cool.
and what aligned with you and what their policy. You know what I notice when I have these conversations? People can always tell me what that side, what they dislike about that side, what they didn't do, but they can't tell me what side that they voted for, what aligned for them in policy wise and what they like and what resonated with them. They can never tell me
I
that. They
was
can always tell me what the other side didn't
I was
do. You don't even
I
do
can
it.
tell you I did
You
that.
don't even do it. You
I
keep
did
on
that the
telling
last
me.
election.
You keep on telling me what you don't
I
like
did
on
that.
the other side, but you're not telling what that side resonates with you and what
I'm
policies
gonna give you
for
But
you.
he said that,
I'm
Savon.
gonna
It
give
was in the
okay, here we
comments.
go. I'm
I
gonna give you an
agree
It
with
was in
example
the
that.
right
I
here.
get that.
I'm gonna give you an example right here. Last election, right? I voted for Joe Biden because I wanted him to pass the George Floyd bill. He didn't do it. I wanted him to pass a black hate crime bill. He didn't do it.
But
I
you knew
wanted
that
him.
wasn't coming.
I
You knew
wanted
that
him
man
to.
wasn't going to do
I
that.
wanted him to do. Hold on, let me finish. I wanted him to pass the student loan reform shit. He didn't do it. He did nothing. He did nothing that he
That
said he was
last
going to
one,
do
I'll
through the
give you.
election.
That last
He
one, I'll
did
give you. But you
nothing,
know he wasn't going to do that. You know
bro.
he was
He was
not
supposed
going
to.
to do the
They
first
was
two.
talking like they was talking like they was going to federally legalize marijuana. They ain't do that. They ain't do nothing
No, you
to
know they're not
earn
going to
your
do that,
vote.
Super. Come
They
on
did
now.
nothing for y'all. They did
Come
nothing
on.
for y'all to be
You
fighting this hard for
you know
them.
they're
They
not
didn't
going
do
to do.
nothing for y'all. They didn't do
You
nothing
I
for
would,
fail
I
y'all
would
to
say
either.
like this.
bro,
I would say
bro,
like this.
you
Y'all
fail to
lucky that.
realize.
I would say like this. Y'all lucky the pandemic era didn't go to an extreme level because we were already filling up a lot of body bags.
Oh
If they
yeah.
had put,
Hey,
if they
let's
had
not
put
forget
that,
that. I'm glad you brought that up. My
hold
bad,
on,
Leroy.
hold on. The
He
person
also
actually
mandated the
at the
vaccine
top,
too. He
at
mandated the
the top.
vaccine too.
So on both ends, we filled up a lot of body bags. They could have turned that up even worse. So if a part two comes behind
They
that,
did.
because part one came behind this president that you're in
Bro, Joe
question.
Biden did turn it
So
up
if
worse. They pushed out a
part two,
vaccine that was defective
they
and that's
both
been
work in the
harming
same building.
people.
They both work in the
They've
same
been they've
building.
been
See,
they
they
pushed
both.
out a
What
defective
what people are
vaccine that's
assuming
been
is
harming
that
people. And
what people
now
are
the number one
assuming
cause of death
what
is
people
death
are
unknown. They
assuming
don't even
is
know what
that if
people
you take
dying
the
from no
issue with
more, bro.
Trump, that you are a Biden superhero. If you take issue with Trump, then that means you love Biden. I think that assumption is where you're getting crossed. Second, again, we know a person for a certain personality. George Bush had a personality. Clinton had a personality. So when you invite this personality in, he telling you my personality is I don't give a fuck. That's my personality. And you're inviting that. So whatever comes with that, you co-sign.
Bro, we dealt that for 4 years, man. I'm not scared of the boogeyman. Stop trying to scare everybody, bro. This dude's trying to scare the shit out
Bro,
of
I'm
people.
not
not even
scared.
gonna get into
I'm not
that.
scared.
I'm not.
Stop,
You
man.
see,
I don't live in fear, bro. I don't
Go
care
back to
about white
2020.
supremacists
Were
and
you
shit.
scared for your
I don't live
family?
in fear,
Go back
bro.
to 2020. Was you
well,
scared
here's
for
the
your
thing.
family?
My thing is
Be
not
honest.
this.
Hell no.
And
I
once
was
in this whole
concerned for my
conversation,
family.
bro.
I
And
was
once in
concerned
this
for my family.
conversation, what have I said that I'm saying in support of the other side? You've never seen me use nothing on the other side. I'm talking solely about this person that you said you guys support. And when you guys are supporting this person, I'm asking you what resonates with you guys that he's putting in place that he said he was going to do, any policies. What
He
is it
said
that
he's
what is
against
it that stands out for you to why you did it?
transgenderism.
Aside from you just not liking the other side. That's what I've asked. Nobody has been able to answer that.
Let
He
me
Hey,
let,
he,
they,
let,
he
let, let,
said
but
let,
that's
me
you.
let me let,
I
let,
think we agree.
let me get
Go
to
ahead,
the
Ryan. My bad.
let me get to the super chat real quick. Andre Miller with the super chat says, "Continue this real and meaningful conversation. This is hip hop. Strong borders, no wars, lower capital gains tax, nuclear family support, etc." Well, yeah, you know what,
No wars.
Andre
Trump's
Miller, you said
ending
some things
wars.
that made some points that I don't have to say. So shout out to Andre Miller
Trump
for
is
articulating
ending.
some reasons why people voted a certain way. So shout out to Andre Miller. But
Trump
let's
must
get
have
back.
Shout
a
out to
great
Andre
ending.
Miller.
I keep on hearing about what they don't like about Democrats, but I never hear what y'all like about the person that y'all voted for.
Because Servan, Donald Trump is Mother Teresa. That's what we don't
Oh,
understand.
Jesus Christ!
He is
Again,
an awesome
what did
person.
what did
That's
I
a
tell
blind
He's an
vote.
awesome person.
what did I
He's
tell
Mother
y'all in the
Let's
Teresa.
chat?
summarize this.
What did I tell y'all in the chat? This is
Let's
business. It's not about a personality
no,
contest.
but let's summarize this,
Okay,
bro.
so when the business doesn't go our way, stand on that.
I
This
will.
is
Stand on
this
that.
is this is me summarizing this. You're saying I voted for one person because I didn't like the other side, but
Servan,
I can't tell
yes,
you a policy or anything that this person put in place that I
yes,
voted
that's
for him
I
for.
just told
Isn't
you.
that not
I
a
just
blind
he
gave
vote?
you
told you,
plenty
Servan.
Isn't that
policies.
not a
He
blind
told
vote?
I
you.
just gave you plenty policies.
He
No,
told you,
no,
I
his
Servan.
just gave you
policies.
plenty
He told you.
policies.
No, you did not give me not one of his policies. You
I
told me
gave
what the other people lacked to do.
I
You didn't give
gave
me
you
none of his policies.
I gave you one specific policy. The stay in
What was
Mexico
that?
policy
I
was
gave you policy.
I know.
Nobody
I said the
cared.
executive order that he signed his second and third. President Biden signed his second or third day in office was the remain in Mexico policy. He signed 30 executive orders that he reversed the Trump's border policy, and now we had a record number of legal immigrants come in the country between the year 2020 and 2004. And if you go to Chicago, New York, across the
So,
country, there's been communities
okay.
been devastated by those specific executive actions or executive orders that he took. That's specific policy.
So
It's not
Trump
something I'm
says he
making up.
now has the
It's not something I'm
so
That's what
making
made
up.
you vote for him?
so you
That's
are
not.
making it
That's
up.
part. It's one reason. That's one. It's one.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Trump has proven to you that he now has the resources to do what he says he will do. Is what you're saying.
Like I said, man, I think
Hold
for me,
on.
this
Hold
it
on.
didn't make a
Hold on.
difference.
Hold on. Trump is saying he's going to do something. So to do that, he needs resources. What you are saying, Ron, is Trump has proven to you that he now has the resources to do what he says he's going to do. That's what you're saying.
All
What
I
I'm saying is, I do not believe he has the resources. But if I tell you I'm going to do something, I actually have to have the money to actually accomplish it. So what you're saying is Trump has proven to you that he has the economics, he has the money, the resources, and the manpower to do with illegal immigration what he told you will do. I'm
Most of
telling
the
you,
things he
he
said he's
does
going to do
not
is
have
not
that
going to do.
check. That check that requires, I'm telling you, he does not have that money. Now, if
You know
you're
what's
saying
funny?
he has it, okay.
again.
Ron,
So
you
Ron, before
pointed
you
out
go,
an immigration thing. This guy said something about mass deportation or something. You think that's going to happen?
I don't know if it's going to happen or not. But what I'm asking you this.
It's
You need
not
a lot of
possible.
money.
It's
You need
not
a lot of
possible.
money.
Savon and Leroy. Let me ask you: do you
Yeah.
think those Biden, when he did those executive orders to reverse those immigration policies, do you think those that helped or harmed the black community? Yes or no?
I don't
I
think it
think
hurt the black
okay,
community at all.
So immigration didn't impact the black community at all. That's what you're telling me.
What job has
I
an
think
immigrant had that I want?
So when
But you're asking for a
so when
yes
those
or no.
How do they hurt me?
so when
I
those
don't. I
communities
haven't been impacted.
so when the people
hold on.
in Chicago and the people on the west and south side of Chicago
Hold on.
said that the schools that they
Hold on.
closed, that those immigrants
Hold
were
on.
sleeping in those school gyms and they were putting them in our communities, that had no impact to the resources.
So
And
I only get to answer with one word, right?
let me finish. The people
But I
that look
only
like
get
us,
one word
the
to
people.
answer,
Go
right?
ahead.
You're saying that I have to answer your question with one word, right?
No.
If I say yes, I can only give you one word. So I can't give you a larger perspective because I only got that one word. What I'm saying is the problem that you're describing has been here before Donald Trump and before Biden. Now, what you're saying, you keep going with this record thing, and this or not. Regardless of the fact, to fix this problem, you need an abundance of resources. I know I already said that, so I'll get off that. But that problem, I think, actually did hurt both sides because look, no matter how you angle it, you take more security off, you add more security, you're still dealing with money. Those guys have to be paid. When you pay them, you're either going to hurt yourself, you both ways, you're going to hurt the country. Both yes and no. We backed into a corner where both options hurt the black community. There is no option that doesn't hurt the black community.
I can answer this for you simply, bro. When we're talking about the immigrant problem, this has been a problem that has been growing, and you want to know how a lot of mass amounts of immigrants ended up in these places. Who are the people that was dropping these people off on buses?
Hello. Who did that?
Was
The
it Democrats
Republicans,
that was doing that?
Who did that?
Republicans were shipping their ass out they states.
Okay. So you said it.
Was it Democrats that was doing that, putting them in those environments like that? Mass.
Was it both?
The Republicans,
Yes. Because if he never signed the executive orders, there wouldn't be a need for the bus. It's a domino effect.
The fact of the matter is,
when you go into a Republican establishment, who are the cooks? Who are the janitors? Who are the bottle service? Who are the people servicing Republican institutions when you go into their business? Are they
bro,
us?
quit that race shit, man. Leave that race theory shit alone right now.
Is it theory
over that,
or
man.
is it theory or who is hiring?
Answer
Who
this.
is hiring them? Is it theory that I'm saying, or are they coming here for jobs? If they're coming here for jobs, that means somebody is doing the hiring. Either I'm the one hiring them, or Trump's people are the one hiring them. It's one of the two.
I'm gonna say this, bro, and I'm just to further your question even more. We know who was dropping them off in the buses and doing that, but fact of the matter is, we could put the blame on both sides because they politicized it and they couldn't come with a bipartisan idea of how to fix this. When there was one on the deal, they had another guy that wanted to back off because he didn't want one to get the shine for it happening under his term. That's facts of the matter. So it's been politicized. They're playing a dirty game with it. So in order for that to even work and get control of the border, we need both sides to work together. That's fact of the matter. But we do know one person fed y'all a dream that he cannot make happen. Mass deportation cannot happen. And if it does, it will cripple our economy because there's things that those people are willing to do job-wise that our American people are too lazy to fucking do. You know what I'm saying?
They don't get paid enough.
It's a dream that is not even possible. It's not even remotely possible.
Trivia question. In the last 40 years, what president has deported the most people in American history?
Pick one.
I can't tell you that, bro.
I can tell you.
Barack Obama.
He was
Obama.
He was called a deporter in chief.
So you're happy about that? You support
black presidents. But listen, for me, this immigration shit, I don't care.
What point I just want to know what given that fact, what point does that prove for you?
The point it can happen. You can that can happen. Mass deportation.
That's not mass deportation. People get deported all the time.
That wasn't mass.
That wasn't mass for you though. People get deported all the time. What does that fact that you gave, what point does that prove?
It proves that can happen. Mass deportation can happen because it was
and those same people that arrested those people and deported them, they reported, we deport somebody, and guess what? We go back to the neighborhood and see the same person again.
It won't happen.
We deported this guy.
I
He
don't
went
listen.
back to the same
I
neighborhood,
don't even think. Hey, me
and
as
we
a
saw
black
him
person,
again.
I didn't vote for Donald Trump to get immigrants out the country. I don't care. That's a non-issue to
That's
me.
what Ron said,
I'm more
though.
worried.
That's what Ron voted
I'm
for,
really more
right?
worried about. I'm more worried
Ron
about
said
us,
that's what
man.
he voted for.
I don't care about what the immigrants doing. I don't care. So
Exactly. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. What it is about it
that
that
never
you
was
guys
that,
voting
The
for, other
that
than
the
never
the
was
head
an
of
issue for
the
me. I
head of the
told you that.
task force, the head
I
of the
said that.
task force
That never was
who
an
is
issue for me.
responsible, the head of the task force who Trump put in place to do this has said he cannot do it. He says he doesn't have the power to do it. He doesn't have the manpower to do it. He doesn't have the money to do it. And the people he has deported, he has seen them again on American soil.
Well, he did a decent job of locking the border down when he did it the last 4 years. So
All right,
All
good
right, well,
job.
let's get back.
you
Let's
know,
get back
but
to hip hop. Let's get back to hip
terrible job.
hop. Let's get back to hip hop and close tonight. I want to say my last thing on this. I don't disparage these brothers from going to DC. I don't even disparage the country artists, the rock artists, the opera singers, the people that are working the event that probably look like us, that's working the concessions or working selling shirts. Because there's gonna be a lot of us selling shirts, making our money during the inaugural. It's gonna be really cold in DC, so I don't know if they're gonna be making money like that. But there's gonna be a lot of us selling hats. So get your money if you're in DC. There are people that look like us, people working the events, people that work in security, people driving Ubers, people driving Lyft, people doing whatever. So I'm not knocking you. So if we're gonna keep that same energy, all those folks shouldn't be working this week. They should just boycott and stay at home if he like that. So
There
if
is
it's like that,
priorities.
so
There is
Just like you
priorities to
guys,
getting money. There's priorities to getting money. If you ain't got your act together, you ain't gonna ball out.
I'm
You ain't
just
gonna
gonna be honest. Just like you guys bring up the immigrant thing, that's not much of a problem that's directly affecting us as you guys believe. You felt just like you said they try to scare us in tactics. That's the same thing he used to scare tactics in you. He made you guys think that majority of the crime and violence and all this stuff is happening by immigrants when it's been shown most of the mass murders and things that's happening has been by white men.
But
They don't
Savon,
consider
I'm
them
not telling.
terrorists.
But
it
Savon,
it
brother, with all due
it
respect, brother, I'm not telling you what I'm thinking. I'm telling you what people have actually come to me unsolicited that I've in the
I get it.
streets of New York, in Chicago, I say it came to me without even knowing nothing how I think or how I move, saying, "Yo, show me their phone." Like, "Yo, they wilding, man. This
It
is crazy.
it
Look
affects
at my
us.
neighborhood. This is going on. These are I can send you the stuff. This is unsolicited
I
information
believe
given to
that. But
me."
what I'm saying is, you're telling me you voted for the man for illegal immigrants again. Like, what? That was in your best interest. We give a damn that much about what they're doing illegal immigrants that affects us so much. That's why you voted for
It
them.
I
it
just told
does
you, man. I
affect us,
voted for.
right?
I think I'm not. I don't think I stand alone in being just fed up with
Of course not.
blindly
Of course,
supporting Democrats all my
of course
life
not.
for the
But
past
you're
70
blindly
years, man.
supporting this guy though.
We we've no. I'm not even
I
in
heard you,
support.
Super.
I told you, it's not even about supporting. I'm not MAGA. I agree
I
with a
heard
lot
you.
of conservative. I do agree with a lot of conservative policies and a lot of conservative thinking. But I'm not MAGA. It could have been any. It could have been any Republican. It could have been. It could have been. What's the
You
other dude
responded
name?
to spite the Democrats, and I heard that, and I
There's
understood
no.
that. And
That's
right,
it. That's it.
I got you.
And so
And you know, and
hopefully
that was
this next
honest.
election, hopefully
That
this
was
next
honest.
election, they will come to us talking with some sense. They will actually value us supporting them,
Here,
die hard
here's the
for
I think
all
that's the
these
biggest
years.
problem is that we're
here's the
waiting on
last thing
them
I'm
to
saying.
make things
Here's the
better for us. We need to be the people that's leading the
the
forefront of
last thing.
doing that for ourselves in the
The
first place.
immigration issue,
But
it does impact us and our communities as a people. Yes, it does. The problem is so far gone that we are not going to be able to correct. So, being that we're not going to be able to correct, we are going to have to look within our own circles, right? And then make the best out of the opportunities that we do have. So and maybe some of us, if you have a painting company, maybe you should hire some of them. I don't, just a suggestion. But the problem overall is so far gone that us as a people are not going to be able to correct that with a vote. So I hear what you're saying and I understand, but I'm just giving you the point blank. Now, musically, to close on this, we had Busta Rhymes. I know it's gonna sound funny. We had Logic, we had Mac Miller. Busta Rhymes had the dragon season. Well, a dragon is a mythical creature, but it's about going inward, looking inside yourself, and then coming up with a solution. That's what a dragon metaphor is about. Mac Miller is also about him finding direction by looking within himself, right? Logic is also about him battling himself to try to get through this rap thing. So what I'm saying is there are outside issues. We are going to have to go within the culture to look for solutions. No matter what political side of the fence that you fall on, I hope that you are looking for the best interest of yourself first and your family, extended family, and your race. Now, if you vote along those lines and you agree with the right side, great. If you agree with the left side, great. But just make intelligent decisions on who you stand by because you stood by that. That's all I'm saying. You stood by that.
All right. Last question for you,
Yeah.
Leroy. Are we canceling
Yeah.
Nelly, Rick Ross, Soldier Boy, Snoop, Kodak? Are they canceled? Are they canceled or not?
Now, Rick Ross to me is a hustler, so I can't cancel a hustler for being a hustler. Nelly, I don't really know how Nelly stands because his music's really a certain kind of music that I never really got his personality. Snoop Dogg, however, outside of music, Snoop Dogg is highly intelligent. So yes, I'm looking at you funny, Snoop Dogg. Yes,
Super, what
I'm
say you
looking
to
at you funny.
Super? What say you to
I,
Servon?
I think it's immature as hell. I think we got to grow up, and we still trying to participate in cancel culture in 2025 because somebody voted for somebody else that you didn't want them to vote for. I think it's immature, it's lame, and you know what I mean. Like I would have the same energy for if it would have been the other way around. If the Indian lady would have won, and it was conservative people out here talking about we need to cancel Megan Thee Stallion, we need to cancel Cardi B, we need to cancel Beyonce for showing up and supporting the Indian lady. I think it would be out of order. You know what I'm saying? I think it would be lame. And so, I gotta have that same energy for anybody that got smoked for Snoop and Nelly them for making their own decisions as grown black men. You know what I mean? Like they can decide to support who they want, and we got to grow up, man. This is like this cancel culture shit is bullshit. This whole attempt is another reason why they lost. You know what I
I
mean?
don't
Like
got
y'all
smoke.
like,
I don't
they
got
gotta grow
smoke.
up, man. Y'all gotta realize, listen to the words that people saying, and understand the
I don't
reasons.
got
This
smoke for
wasn't
Snoop
about
Dogg.
nothing else.
I don't got smoke for Snoop ever. I would never have smoke for Snoop. I never got nothing except for love for Snoop. However, Snoop, if you are now co-signing that, then you are co-signing the man's words and actions moving forward. And I can't excuse you from that because you're intelligent enough to know your influence. Your influence is now behind that machine.
People talk about canceling them. We got to be focused on getting Drake the fuck up out the culture.
Servon, Servon, what say you, sir? Last word, sir.
I don't have the power to cancel anybody. Like I said, if they were doing anything or lobbying for something that's going to be better for the people, then cool. If they were just doing it for a check, we know where they stand, and we should treat them as no more than where they stand. I don't really have a strong opinion on saying that they're wrong for doing it or they're right for doing it. It's simply I'm taking it for what it is. If you did it for the money, then I know, hey, that's all it took. And then we can start having conversations about hip hop and integrity and contradictions because they stood on one side, and then I want to know what changed your tune and why you're so openly ready to do this for the same person that you made remarks about that was disparaging or disrespectful or saying fuck him and all that stuff. What changed it? Was it the money? So that would be my question to it. But then again, like I said, I don't think we have the power to cancel shit. But that's just where I stand, man. We really have to start looking at what people do, and when people are doing things, we take it for what it is, and we treat them as they should and what applies, and just go from there. When people show you who they are, you believe them.
I
All right.
agree.
Well said. Well said. It was an interesting conversation, guys. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. We are marching toward the 20,000 subscriber mark. Once we get to 25,000 subscribers, I think as a crew, we'll give one of our followers $500. So retweet this, share it. If you're on X, come to YouTube. $500 once we get to 25,000 subs. And yeah, we just like a little giveaway. Like a little giveaway for the summer. You know what I'm saying? Like, with a spring win or
But
whatever.
the whole thing is this. The whole thing is this. When we offer our opinion, because you started out the show today talking about being bit, your style being bit by others
Yes,
in the space,
yes,
right?
yes, yes.
So So the reason why your style can be bit is because you must be offering something that is of value in your opinion. So aside from, yes, money is involved and all of that, but there is value in the information that you are getting when you come here. So when you hit the like and subscribe, just be clear the perspectives and opinions, and there's value there because there's knowledge and information there that is key to this culture. I just want to make that clear. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And again, hit like and subscribe. Just tell a friend, tell a friend. Let's get us to 25,000 subs.
Right.
Savon, I appreciate you. Super duper. Appreciate you
Sure.
tapping in from the road.
Sure.
Leroy Green, as always, I'm Ron. Make sure you love your loved ones. Hold them tight. Keep this thing
No
hip
doubt.
hop. We'll see you Monday. Savon, y'all got something cooking on Monday with Mike.
Yes, sir.
So we'll see y'all then. Peace.
All right, y'all.
Peace.
Peace, peace.